You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía football.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? We've got a lot to talk about today. We've got Lamar Jackson news, Christian McCaffrey news, fantasy football news galore, Cam Akers and A-Rob aftermath. What do we do with Stafford? Is Cooper Kupp going to be okay if Stafford's not okay? We got the live count of the channel subscribers right here, 13,401. So if you're watching and you want to see that number pop up, just click that subscribe button. We want everybody here watching. It's a weird number of people that watch every single day that still don't hit the subscribe button. You get alerted more. It gets the video will get suggested to you more if you're subscribed versus not subscribed. So hit that button. Help your boy Smitty out. Watch this number grow. Appreciate you all being here. Let's get into the news and then we'll start getting into some Q&A, taking some voicemails, taking some phone calls, helping you win your championship in 2022. Let's go.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
And by the way, my boy right here, this is Jake Nielsen right here. Let me just announce it. Jake Nielsen, winner of the Beast hoodie. Let's go over to the board real quick. Hold on. So Jake Nielsen is winner of the Beast hoodie from our people at Grindhouse. Jake won this bad boy right here from the week 1 Panic Chamber episode. Every single Panic Chamber episode, we're giving out one of these or something like this. This is the Beast hoodie from Grindhouse, our sponsors of the Panic Chamber. Every single week of this season, we're giving away something. The next t-shirt that we're giving, or the t-shirt we're giving away next, it's going to be a t-shirt, not a hoodie, is this one right here. Got all this clothes. They sent me so much stuff. This one right here, this t-shirt right here from Grindhouse, that's the back. I keep dropping it. This is the front, and it's Reptilicus. These are all t-shirts from the movies and vintage tees from the 80s. So we're giving that one away. But Jake, your t-shirt's on the way, pal. I just got word that it's on the way. It's getting sent out. We're giving away one piece of apparel every single week during the Panic Chamber episode, so get ready. Jake says, what happened to Cam Akers? He's clearly joking. So many people, be careful with all those messages in a row there, Slayer. You don't want to get moderated by the repetition. But I appreciate you, Slayer. Slow down on that. Throttle it back, Slayer. What happened to Cam Akers? I mean, writing was on the wall, right? And Jake's joking here, but we have so many people panicking about Cam Akers. Probably not from this community, though. Probably not from this community, because we knew what time it was. The writing was on the wall. Now, A-Rob's a different story. I was definitely not on the A-Rob train to the degree everybody else was. I admit I was getting a little bit more, I don't know, encouraged by his camp play and the buzz, but everybody was jumping on him in like the 4th and 5th round. That's too early. It was way too early. The signs were there too that, a second wide receiver on this team shouldn't be a 4th round pick. But I do feel like people are going to have knee-jerk reactions to both Cam and to A-Rob. And let's dig into that first, and then we'll get into the Lamar Jackson news, since we're on the topic of Cam Akers. So Cam Akers, thank you, Memphis, for subscribing to the channel. We're at 13,403. Appreciate you guys, all your support. We're going to be at 14K by probably the end of next week at the rate we're growing right now. Appreciate all your support, guys. Hit that thumb up button and subscribe if you're new. So Cam Akers came out and dropped a complete dud. 3 carries for 0 yards. 0 yards. He could have only done worse if he had negative yardage. Writing was on the wall. Clear as day this was going to happen. I tried to warn everybody, screaming from the rooftops, but I kept hearing things like, Smitty, you're going to be sorry. You're going to be sorry, Smitty. Cam's going to come out and look fantastic. Cam Akers is not going to ever be the same player he was once at one point when people thought he was going to potentially be a top 10 running back. Never once in the history of the NFL has a running back tore his Achilles tendon and come out and become a top 10 or even top 15 running back. It's just not going to happen. And part of it's because the job's no longer there for you by the time you get fully recovered. And it takes not 1 year, not half a year. It takes 2 or 3 years to get your explosion back from a torn Achilles tendon. Running backs don't have that kind of time. Running back shelf lives are about that long. You can't wait 3 or 4 years, come back and try and become a top 10 to 15 running back. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And J-Rob, maybe J-Rob looks better than Cam. Maybe J-Rob stays healthy all year. Who cares? It has no relation to ETN whatsoever. If J-Rob can't do it, Snoop Connor's going to do it. Somebody's got to run for 700-800 yards so that ETN can focus on doing ETN things, like catching footballs, like being the Eckler of old, where Eckler ran for 550 or 650 on the ground and pulled in 8, 1,000 yards through the air. That's what ETN is. We don't need ETN to run for 1,400 yards. Somebody's got to do it. J-Rob has 0 to do with ETN's rise. 0, just like Cam Akers' yardage total from last night. 0. Okay? ETN and J-Rob, there's no correlation whatsoever. It's either Snoop Connor or it's J-Rob or it's somebody. It's my grandma. It's whoever can come in and run and try and spell ETN's workload in the rushing department so he can line up all over the field. ETN is a weapon, and he's the best offensive weapon on that Jaguars roster, don't worry about J-Rob. Don't worry about J-Rob. I have no concerns or cares about J-Rob. I hope he does good. I hope him and Snoop Connor, I don't care which one wants to take that role. That role is there for a reason. So I just want to make sure people understand what's going on with that situation. Cam Akers, total avoid. Do you go cutting Cam Akers? No. Do you cut Cam Akers? No. Do you sell him low? Depends what low is. Depends what the offer is. Cam Akers is somebody that you can potentially package in a deal to maybe get a tiny upgrade. Example, case in point. You want to trade Cam Akers away, okay? You got Cam. Nobody is taking Cam 1-for-1 for player X. Why would you trade player X for Cam Akers? Nobody's going to do it. Why on earth would you try and upgrade somebody or trade somebody a Ramondre Stevenson or anyone of that nature for Cam Akers? You wouldn't do it. The only way you can trade and get away with getting Cam Akers off your roster at a reasonable price is to add something. So let's say you're trading Deontay and Cam for an AJB, and you believe AJB's better than Deontay. Maybe this owner's like, I kind of like Deontay as much as AJB, and I'm getting Cam. Now I'm willing to take on the risk of Cam. This is the only way to get rid of Cam Akers. Or in a similar fashion, maybe you have a quarterback like Dak, and you send Dak and Cam to get a Burrow. This is the only way to get rid of Cam Akers right now. A 2-for-1 where somebody says, why not? Try and get rid of him. Why would you not try and get rid of him? It's a smart play. Get rid of him now, because what have I been telling you over and over? Cam Akers is very, very likely to suffer some sort of other lower body injury coming back from an Achilles tear. Why? It's called compensation. Compensation injuries happen with Achilles tendon injuries. They happen with ACLs. They happen with any of these significant season-ending ligament injuries and tendon injuries in the lower body, because guess what happens once you come back? You start cutting really hard, and you start getting scared and nervous. You don't trust your leg. You lay off a little bit, and you start putting pressure on other parts of the body. Your hamstring, your calf, your patellar tendon, those types of things. Quad injuries. A lot of times people have a quad injury. They'll put more pressure on the knee, and the patellar tendon, boom, can injure that way. A lot of times players have a potential ACL or knee issue, and they hold off a little bit, and they cause calf injuries and things of that nature. You're oftentimes having some sort of compensation involved on a comeback from a season-ending injury, and that compensation is going to put more pressure on another part of the body. And so Cam Akers and James Robinson have a higher likelihood than any other player in the NFL to have a lower leg or lower body injury in 2022, especially early on. So get ready for that. McVay said Cam Akers needs to play with an increased level of urgency. That is definitely for sure. In fairness, he only got 3 carries, and they didn't target him in the passing game. But on those 3 carries, McVay was disappointed. That's not a good sign. I think a good sign would have been like the earlier report, we forgot to use him. Just like McVay forgets to use everybody, right? He always has that as an excuse. Well, we didn't have time to use him. We need to do a better job of getting that player on the field and whatnot. So Cam Akers, honestly, I would say, I'm not cutting him. I think people have messaged me last night. People were like, "Hey, should we cut Cam Akers? Should we cut Cam Akers? Should I get rid of him?" Or one guy said, "I cut Cam Akers, Smitty. I cut him." You shouldn't cut him. You can throw him in. The deal I just showed you, this deal right here, is a deal worth doing. Cam and Dak for Burrow, or a Deontay and Cam for an upgraded AJB. That's how you get rid of Cam. But you do get rid of him. You get rid of him right now. Okay, go get rid of him right now. This is from this report. This one's from Adam Schefter. We know about this, right? This has been talked about all week. We knew we probably weren't going to see a deal get done. Lamar Jackson decided to turn down the Ravens offer and bet on himself. basically what this has come down to is Lamar wants guaranteed money that looks and smells an awful lot like the contract that Deshaun Watson got, where there's $230 million guaranteed dollars headed his way. I'm sure he would accept anything in the $200 million guaranteed dollar range. But I'm pretty sure that the Ravens weren't even close on this one, which is why Lamar said, this is it. You either do it Friday or I'm out. If they were close or they were inching close toward a deal, Lamar would have been more patient with that. Lamar has no agent, which is ridiculous. Maybe it works out at the end of the day and the Ravens take care of him in a way that they wouldn't have if he had an agent. So maybe this all ends up working out. But for him to not be negotiating with an agent who does this for a living is ridiculous on Lamar Jackson's part. He's going to go out there, bet on himself, which is, I admire it, but it's reckless because the man runs 150 to 190 times a season. And the likelihood of injury is extremely high. And the fact that he put on 18 pounds of weight to help absorb hits while he runs more this season, because he runs 155 times a season prior to last year. Last year, he was on pace to run about 190 times. So this team is going to ask him to run the football more. They've announced that they're more run heavy this year than they were last year, which means they're dialing back the pass by design, which is controlling Lamar Jackson, which has never worked out in the past. Whenever they've tried to dial back Lamar, let's have him run less, let's do this, let's do that, Lamar Jackson hasn't responded well because he needs to be Lamar. You can't control him. You can't put him in a box. These things don't end well for Lamar Jackson or the offense in the flow of offense. You trade away the number one wide receiver in Hollywood Brown. You decide to run the ball more. You decide to do all these things. You're changing everything. 18 pounds gained weight. I don't like it. I think Lamar Jackson's making a grave mistake because I think an agent would have helped him get to the number he needed to get to before this deadline that he drew, which was today. And Lamar Jackson's now walking in with a potential risk of some kind of big injury because he runs the ball aggressively. He doesn't just run a little bit. He runs aggressively. He runs more than any other running quarterback in the NFL. And so the odds of injury are very, very high. Very high. And people that say you can't predict injury, Smitty, and people that say, Smitty, you can't, this is ridiculous. How dare you, Smitty, say that a player is going to get hurt? Look, you run the ball 150 to 200 times, you are easily in the category of the most likely to get hurt players in the National Football League when you're a quarterback. Josh Allen does have a high injury risk because he runs as well. Lamar has a high injury risk. He runs a ton. Any quarterback running the football has a high injury risk. You got to know that when you're drafting a player. But Lamar Jackson's a player I'm avoiding right now at the cost of entry. And obviously drafts are pretty much all over. Some people still draft after this day. I don't know why. I have several people that are drafting right now that follow me, and they're just going to include Thursday stats. Maybe they got together late. Maybe people were dilly-dallying about draft dates and they're forcing it. But basically, that makes Josh Allen a first-round pick, because people are going to get those points and know what they're getting out of Josh Allen. So that's a strange way to do your league, but to each their own. If you missed out on doing an extra fantasy league and you're like, hey, I need to do one, go to Underdog Fantasy, link in description, use promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 on your first deposit. Go play Underdog Fantasy, link in description, and I'm going to put the link in the live chat right now. Make sure you play Underdog Fantasy in 2022. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity. They will match up to $100 on your first deposit. Use promo code Smitty. There's nothing worse than having injuries and you don't have anything else to play for in week 10, week 11, week 12. If you have these best ball drafts, you got so much to play for. Not to mention that right now, all the long season drafts are done. The full season drafts, the Underdog Best Ball Mania 3 and all those are done. Now it's daily fantasy contest. Now you're drafting for this coming week. It's fantastic. It's fun. Go do it. Stevenson is will win my league. Jake, I love Stevenson right now. Everybody should be drafting Stevenson. or trading for Stevenson if he's available. I did a Stevenson post on my IG and my YouTube Shorts, and I had 4 or 5 people immediately DM me saying, I don't know how, but Stevenson's on waivers. And I just picked him up, and I feel like I'm going to win my league right now. So go check your waiver wire. If you're playing with a bunch of grandmas, he might be out there. If you got really shallow benches, like 4, 5, 6 bench spots, he might be out there. Now, this next piece of news right here, J.K. Dobbins, this is Ravens related, questionable for week 1. This is another complete avoid. Why anybody's going near J.K. Dobbins is beyond me. The fact that so many people drafted him and Cam Akers when I've been beating a dead horse on the topic over and over all offseason long, he's not ready. He's not ready. We just saw this play out with Saquon Barkley. I told you to stay away from Saquon Barkley. The writing was on the wall. When you're not ready for week 1 and you're coming off an ACL tear, there's no hope for you to just get better while you're playing on it and causing swelling and all kinds of issues with the knee. He's not ready. The knee's not ready. The reason your knee swells up is it's a reaction of defense to say, hey, what are you doing to this knee? And you can't prepare. No team or coach or player is going to shove an ACL recovered player out there in the preseason or in practice or in scrimmages and put them to the rigorous test of, hey, let's see how this knee does. You always hold back until week 1 and say, okay, let's shove him out there and see how he does. Good luck, JK. Nobody's put to the test. So, he looks ready. He's ready. He's going to be healthy. No. He's coming out there the first time taking hits to the knee. 300-pound lineman driving him into the ground. Like, JK's going to have massive swelling. This is when you don't practice week in and week out. Like JK, Godwin, complete avoids for me. All offseason long. Akers, complete avoid. These season-ending injuries, Achilles, ACL, they are tough to come back from year 1, especially when you're Godwin and you're one of the most injury-prone wide receivers in the National Football League, and now he's very questionable for week 1. He's not ready. If he's not ready for week 1, he's not going to be ready for the season at all at any point in the earlier part because he's going to have swelling. His knee's not even close to ready. He's going to get thrown to the wolves. Same with J.K. Dobbins. Complete avoid. Sell him high while you can. Sell him high while you can. Kyren Williams. This is news that affects the running back room. Henderson's the running back 1 in LA right now. McVay said Kyren Williams will have surgery on his high ankle sprain and be sidelined 6 to 8 weeks. So that's done. That experiment's done for 2022. It's now Darren Williams. They may bring in another running back. They may trade for a running back. I could see a Kareem Hunt trade or something like that mid-season. Don't go buying Kareem Hunt right now on that assumption. I'm just saying that if this running back room can't stay healthy, McVay's got to do something. And so there are, Madison, there's Kareem Hunt, there's a couple options out there. And it wouldn't surprise me if they did make a move for a running back. Jalen Waddle was removed from the week 1 injury report. That's great news. I do worry about him. He's been wearing like a leg sleeve and missing for like almost 2 weeks now from practice. And the quad, remember I told you quad, patellar tendon, quad, knee, a lot of compensation injuries can occur with a quad, with a calf, whatever, quad. You're holding up and pulling up, and you're putting more pressure on your knees to take the absorbing shock of cutting left and right. So monitor this. I don't like that a quad's kept him out this long. It had to be quite a quad injury to be out for like nearly 2 weeks. So I'm a little skeptical of Waddle this season. I feel like another injury is very likely, given that he's coming in not like where he needs to be. Michael K. CPA, the highest super chatter of the year in a single live stream with the $512 super chat in one single live stream. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. Let's put him over in the corner and look at that wonderful, beautiful face right there, Michael K. CPA. Let's give him a round of applause on that. Michael K. CPA. Appreciate you, buddy boy. We appreciate you a whole heck of a lot, Michael K. All right, let's get to this next piece of news. This one is Donald Parham is going to be questionable or doubtful with the hamstring. So this means what? This means that Everett is a pretty sneaky pick up and play, plug and play tight end, catching footballs from a guy known as Justin Hubert. Where's my Hubert button when I need it? Justin Hubert? Hubert, where are you? Where's my Hubert button? Where are you? Oh my God. Where's my Hubert? There we go. This guy. Herbert. Everybody's saying Josh Allen. And I agree. Josh Allen to the moon. Josh Allen's going to have a special season. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Justin Herbert are worth drafting. This whole wait on a quarterback late. You should wait on a quarterback. Always wait on a quarterback, Smitty. Always. It's just the way to go.
Wrong. Muy mal.
Don't listen to any analysts. In fact, unfollow and stop watching them immediately if they're telling you things like blanket statements like don't draft a quarterback early. Context matters. Flow of draft matters. If you're sitting there at 4.12 and Herbert's there, or Josh Allen was there at 4.05, and you were staring players in the face that you didn't love, like Deontay or Fournette or players like that, and you didn't take Josh Allen and you didn't take Herbert, or you didn't do this or that because of somebody's blanket statement that didn't look at your draft board, then that person should not be listened to. I'm sorry. That's plain and simple. Now, at the same time, when I saw a player like ETN sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I could get Herbert here, or I could get ETN and get Joseph cigar-smoking Burrow in round 6.5, that was the play to make. There's tons of different avenues to take. You can always win through different avenues. Don't listen to anybody that tells you you've got to go a certain direction. But on this note here, we've got a man. I'm going to get to all the super chats in a minute. I got Master Super Chat right here. Let me put that right here. Sorry, Michael K. I set that right on Michael K. CPA's face here. Ken, thank you for the super chat. Prime, I've got you loaded up, locked and loaded. Michael, you are loaded and in the queue of super chats, my man. Noah, with the $10 hauler, I'll give you the proper standing O once I get to your question. Terry R, appreciate your super chat. Good buddy, kind sir. Kevin, thank you. You're in the queue, Kevin. Christian, you're in the queue. I got you right there, buddy boy. Appreciate you. And let's see. Do we have any other super chats at the top of the show that I need? I don't think so, but please let me know and I'll throw it on there. What's up? Smitty, should I play Kittle this weekend? RSF 49ers says, it doesn't sound like he's playing good, buddy. If he plays, we'll see. But God, Kittle's so disappointing right now. I'm sorry, Raj, but I'm disappointed in him. Can't even make it on the field in week 1. You know, it'd be different if you missed like week 4. Can't even make it week 1. You draft him, you can't even use him. It's very disappointing, Raj. Very disappointing. Pick up Everett if you need a tight end, if you're in a bind. This news right here, this is glory. Javonte Williams, like, first of all, people take this news as a negative when you could easily take this news as a positive. Not to mention it gives him a lower trade value right now, in a sense, because people freak out over anything. People are anxious people. People are funny. And the fact that Nathaniel Hackett said he's a true believer and you want to roll with the hot hand when discussing the running back situation between Javonte and Melvin Gordon, and people are running for they're getting scared and panicked about Javonte. They saw what happened to Cam Akers. They saw what happened to Allen Robinson, and people are trying to transition that fear onto Javonte Williams. And that's great for you, because if you can go trade your Saquon Barkley for Javonte and you got buyer's remorse on Saquon Barkley, maybe you drafted a guy like Fournette and you've got a guy like Deontay, and you can couple the two together, Deontay and Fournette, like this. Fournette, Deontay for Javonte. Smash. And you can get this done. Why? Because this guy's gone in the third round in a lot of drafts. He goes bottom of round 2, sometimes round 3. This guy's gone in round 2 at times during the offseason, and I've screamed about it. I don't know why anybody would trust Fournette at all with a second-round pick, let alone a third-round pick, let alone a fourth-round pick. But Deontay going sometimes in the third round with I scratch my head, just like when everybody took A-Rob in round 4, which was a huge mistake that I couldn't believe my eyes when I kept seeing that over and over. Fournette, Deontay, Javonte. Maybe you've got a running back like Barkley, like I said. I trade Barkley all day long with Deontay for Javonte. So go get Javonte right now while you still can. This news is fantastic. People freak out about stuff like this. They don't even see that this could be a positive for Javonte. Like, let me ask you a question, okay? This is like Sesame Street. One of these things doesn't look like the other, okay? One of them is a guy that has more broken tackles than anybody in the NFL, okay? And he played halftime. And the other guy's an aging running back that has a pedestrian yards per carry average before he came to Denver that was like right around 3.9 to 4.0. And Denver ran the ball well. They helped him vault that up a little bit. So he's over 4.0 now. But you've got a pedestrian 3.9 to 4.1 yard per carry running back that's older, that took a lot of miles on last year, that was lucky to even escape last year without injury. You got this guy over here. You got this guy over here that's broken more tackles than anybody in the National Football League in 2021 as a halftime running back. Out tackle breaking JT. Out tackle breaking Najee Harris from a halftime role. One of these does not look like the other. And this man right here just said, I'm a true believer. This is Hackett. This is actual audio from Hackett's press conference. I'm a true believer in that you want to roll with the hot hand when discussing running back situation between Javonte and Melvin Gordon. If that doesn't make you feel like this is good news for Javonte, then shame on you. Melvin Gordon is only going to threaten Javonte a certain amount. Javonte Williams is going to shine. He did this in college. He was a tackle-breaking monster in college. He's a tackle-breaking monster already in the NFL. What do you think happens when you give the ball to a tackle-breaking machine and you give the ball to an aging running back that is older, that is a pedestrian 3.9 to 4.1 yard per carry running back? Who do you think is going to be the hot-looking hand? This is the best news you could have heard all day. Let people freak out about it. Let people interpret it the way they want. And go get your man Javonte Williams while you still can in leagues where you regrettably didn't make it happen. So get out there and go get it. CMC is no longer on the injury report. I don't know if I fully believe that he's going to stay healthy this year, honestly. Or I know I don't believe he's going to stay healthy this year. Thank you for the super chat. I'll toss all the super chats on screen in order here. Appreciate everybody dropping them. This one's from Derek. Derek, you're in the queue. Christian McCaffrey. I mean, you probably spent a high draft pick on him if you own him. He's off the injury report. Remember when he came back from injury and I said sell him? And we had that guy come in here and said, running back 1, Christian McCaffrey. Running back 1, Smitty, you're going to pay. Smitty, running back 1, Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to show you I'm coming back every day. This guy said, I'm coming back every day and dropping Christian McCaffrey, running back 1 in your chat, Smitty, because he's coming back from injury. You're telling people to sell him. You're going to make people lose their leagues. I'm going to be back every single day. McCaffrey comes back. Sell. Gets hurt right away. So I'm not saying to sell him for cheap, sell him low, but if you drafted McCaffrey, I don't know why you wouldn't use this news to at least explore going and getting a Javonte or a DeAndre Swift and getting something else in return. If you could literally, off the Javonte news, trade Christian McCaffrey. I saw a comment in there that Gordon's only 29. You know that the drop-off age for a running back is 27 now? You just said 29? It's 27, bro. He's plus 2 years of borrowed time already. Thank you for proving the point. 29 is not good for a running back. That's almost an impossibility. Here we go. So if you take CMC and you trade him for Javonte off of the news that I just read you that people are going to freak out about. Oh, go with the hot hand. That doesn't sound like a commitment to Javonte. I'm going to go ahead and maybe sell this guy. CMC, oh, he's off the injury report. It was just a little itty-bitty shin injury. So now, what can you get? What if this guy's got AJB? What if you could get, AJB. What if you could get AJB and Javonte for CMC? What if you could get Scary Terry McLaurin and Javonte for CMC? What if you could get a Pierce, which everybody's starting to kind of like almost have a scary, like maybe we're getting too high on this guy, especially off the A-Rob stuff. You might be able to get this combination for CMC. I do that all day long, every single day. There's just no question about it. That is the best move you could possibly make. Super chats from Manuel. I'm going to put you right here in the queue. Appreciate you. Yeah, A-Rob. I don't understand the A-Rob love that was out there. Go trade McCaffrey high. I'm not saying sell him cheap. I'm not saying that he can't deliver. But like I always tell you, that fantasy football is like a roulette wheel in that every player is a roulette wheel. And CMC is a roulette wheel. And CMC, we go through more markers on this show. CMC is a roulette wheel, and he's got more X's than he has check marks, and then a couple, this probably isn't enough spots to like emphasize what I'm trying to get at here. I should have did more spots, but my point is there's so many X's on here. Ability for this ball to bounce in and land in one of those bust spots. Look at every player like a roulette wheel. CMC's got way more X's than he does check marks. And it's just not a good bet at top 5 overall value. And if you can trade CMC or Henry or any player that has a roulette wheel, if we're looking at it like that has more X's than it does check marks, opportunities to deliver and win for you, you're missing the boat on trying to get rid of that player when you can. This is another player that I would trade high. Look, he's already injured. What did I say? Compensation. This right here is a model of a foot. Okay? This is where he injured his foot. This deltoid ligament right here. I know there's a deltoid. I get it. I believe this is also called the deltoid. The deltoid ligament is responsible for holding and kind of securing and stabilizing this part of the upper part of the foot and the ankle, and keeping these bones essentially tight and together. And when you injure that, it feels like these are separating. Very painful. He had to modify the way he stepped. He had to compensate. His whole step, his whole movement is compensation at this point. Because if he had to compensate on how he would plan on the leg, he's causing all kinds of potential trickling up and lingering effects in the leg. And so that's why he's suffering with hamstring injuries, is because he doesn't trust cutting fully yet. He's not fully back. And when you pull back and hold back, and you're already an injury-prone player like Godwin, like J.K. Dobbins, like Cam Akers. Cam Akers is one of the most injury-prone players I identified last year before his Achilles tear. My number 1 or number 2 avoid running back from last year was Cam Akers before his Achilles tendon tear. Identified by me as one of the most injury-prone players in the National Football League. He had like 3 or 4 injuries as a rookie. He leads with his head. He's reckless with his body. Proven again by coming back 6 months after recovery on a torn Achilles tendon. He's reckless with his body. Michael Thomas has been missing for 2 years. He doesn't trust his leg/foot. He's going to be compensating. He's going to get injuries like hamstrings, quads, calves. He's not going to stay healthy. And if he does anybody think, can we remember a time where a player's been missing for 2 years after being on the top? Missing for 2 years and come back and return to form just years later? Can somebody throw out a name? I'm not saying I'm not misremembering that there is 1 or 2 players that come to mind, but 2 years. We've got Saquon and Michael Thomas that feel very, 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 very risky with this type of thinking. The investment is very high. Some people drafted Mike Thomas very late. Some people drafted him a lot higher. Mike Thomas is one of the worst bets as a wide receiver too. He's an okay 3-4 because you can maybe trade him. But if you don't trade him now, I worry you won't be able to trade him at all. There are people that are ambulance chasers in fantasy football. There's always one Bob or one Bill in your league that's like, maybe should I buy low on Cam Akers right now? This seems like it could be a real opportunity. There's always one or two. Try and find that guy. You probably know who it is in your league. I get for every 15 probably for every 50 messages, and I get a lot of them that say, God, Cam, I should have listened to you, or what do I do with Cam, Smitty? Don't tell me you told me so, just what do I do with Cam? Every 50 of those, I get one person, one Bob that comes in and says, should I buy Cam Akers low? Should I? You know he's willing to buy Mike Thomas low too. These people you need to go after and try and attack because they might see this as an opportunity. They love to come in and buy a bargain, and they think Mike Thomas might be a bargain. Go get rid of Mike Thomas now while you still can. Here's another potential. Sorry, Raj, if you're watching, put your earmuffs on, Raj. Raj probably has 49er earmuffs that have like fuzzy red fluff on them. Put them on, Raj. Don't listen to this segment. I don't think you can even trade Kittle high. I think no one's going near him right now at the near cost of entry that you ended up spending to get him, which wasn't a bad deal on draft day. I admittedly drafted him in a couple leagues because at 5.10 or 6.2, he felt like a steal. I still think he can be if he gets onto the field, but this is not good. He hasn't even played yet. Week 1, and he's already not potentially playing week 1 for us, and he is a top 5 round player. And that's a really bad spot to be in. This is a man that I fear, is in that category of glass, made of glass. Barkley made of glass. Christian McCaffrey made of glass. They weren't always made of glass. Kittle was not always made of glass. Barkley was not always made of glass in our minds. Christian McCaffrey most certainly was not made of glass at one point in his career. But mileage and workload does something to a player. Kittle plays harder than any player in probably the league. Him and Gronk are so abusive to their own bodies. Kittle is the definition of a player that puts his body on the line to get one extra yard. He'll hang himself up with one defender wrapped around his leg and try scooting forward and just gets drilled by 3 and 4 guys at one time upright, trying to get one extra yard. That's a guy you want to go into battle with. I admire it a lot, but it puts his body in a very vulnerable situation. This guy tries to get every single inch. Sonny, I know I've got all the super chats piled up here, buddy boy. So I'm going to go through them in just 1 second. I appreciate you dropping it. I'll put it on screen here for sure. It's right there. You're in the queue, Sonny. I got you. I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I've got him in a couple leagues. No one's trading for him. You got to put him on the bench and hope that he returns to form. There's not much else to do. Maybe somebody has another tight end that the situation is bad and they're looking at that bargain. You can maybe go that direction. But honestly, it's not a good look. I'm not expecting a ton out of Kittle right now. Maybe that changes, but it's upsetting when he can't even make it onto the field in week 1. Smitty, love the channel, man. Need PPR 1. Need 1. Parker, Hardman, Claypool, Javonte Smith. Javonte Smith, pal. Easy call. Yeah, Sonny, I got you. Don't worry. Almost done with the news. Next piece of news here, and there's 2 more. Rondell Moore is out week 1. It's Hollywood Brown season. If you've got any Hollywood Brown shares, you gotta strongly consider playing him in week 1. Michael Gallup. Why is Michael Gallup on any rosters? I don't even understand this. So many people are like, Michael Gallup season. He's gonna have a great year. He's never healthy. He's already not playing week 1. Like, let Michael Gallup go. Release him. You don't even need him anymore. He shouldn't be on anyone's roster. You shouldn't let Michael Gallup stay on your roster when a Zamir White is out there, or Rashad White especially, or a Khalil Herbert, running back for the Bears, that could take over at some point. You have no business holding on to Michael Gallup. Go get Isaiah Likely, the backup tight end, who actually might play as the wide receiver 3 for the Ravens in 2022. Go get Likely over Gallup. You're in a super flex. Go get Malik Willis over Gallup and sit him on your bench. This guy's not going to stay healthy for you. And that is all she wrote for the news for week number 1 for now. Appreciate you, Steve. Okay, Sonny's got a question. Who do we target trading away Godwin and Henderson? Breece Hall. The news about Breece Hall recently, sharing carries and all that. People just freak out about it. I go get Breece Hall for that. I go get, you're not going to probably get an ETN, but I try. Do I go get an A.J. Brown? Yes, I do. Do I go get a scary Terry McLaurin? Yes, I do. Do I trade for a DK Metcalf? I do. I don't care if anybody else likes it. I like DK Metcalf. I like DK Metcalf this year. I'm not scared of Geno Smith and DK. Is it ideal? No. Is DK worth a second-round pick anymore? No. He's worth a 5th or 6th round pick, which is where you got him if you did draft him, or where the owner got him, where that owner drafted him, and you could afford to buy him at that price tag, which is right here. I take DK Metcalf. Nero, appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Good buddy, good pal, kind sir. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Next super chat by Caden. Javonte always going to have the hot hand. Attaboy, Caden. Get with it, Caden. Caden to the moon.
To the moon.
Appreciate Caden. $10 hauler from Manuel. Whoa.
$10 plus super chat.
Appreciate you, Manuel. Manuel says, you already checked out my 10-team league. Please rate my 12-team league. 10th overall pick in a 12-teamer. Hurts, Javonte, ETN, CD, A.J. Brown, Albert O. Damian Pierce does the trick, broski. That really makes that look amazing there. Mooney's fantastic on the bench or in your last wide receiver spot. I love that. Lazard won't play. He's almost a waste of space at this point, but depends who you could pick up. James Cook, I'm not loving him. Rashad White, love that. Love Likely. Lance on the bench, absolutely phenomenal. Only recommendation I'd have at all would be maybe Mooney and Alberto for a slightly better tight end. Maybe buy low on Dawson Knox using a Lazard or a James Cook, and I really do think Knox is going to have a rebound. I know I could be, in fairness, like if we're not worried about Knox, how can we not be worried about A-Rob? And we can talk about that. But I'm buying Knox. I think defenses are going to key on the wide receivers from here on out. And I think that I don't think that'll do much. I think you're going to see Gabe Davis and Diggs tear up the league. But I think defenses will be a little bit more like, let's let Knox beat us and not let these wide receivers beat us as much as we can. And so, therefore, you're going to see a huge game or two coming up out of Knox. And then people are going to forget that he had a bad week 1. I could see a touchdown or 2 in week 2. Very, very likely, in my opinion. I think Knox just got paid. They love him. He's a touchdown threat. Josh Allen's going to definitely lean upon him once the wide receivers are getting doubled or you start seeing. I mean, Diggs had good coverage and he still did well last night. Diggs did fantastic. Gabe Davis looked fantastic. Josh Allen and the Bills. Let's do it. Look, Herbert, Burrow, Josh Allen, they're all going to ball out all year long. You can't go early quarterback. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Herbert, these early quarterbacks, Smitty. The quarterbacks are such a dime a dozen. You could get Stafford in round 7 or 8, Smitty. Enjoy early quarterback season because it's here. And we're here for it. No early quarterback. Watch us. Get your popcorn ready. Watch us. You already... Okay, so, yeah, good team. Fantastic team. Hurts, Javonte, ETN, CD, A.J. Brown. Very good. Damian Pierce. Love it. The only other thing I'd look to maybe do... I don't know. I like it. I roll that team out there. I let Rashad White, Mooney, those guys gain value. Damian Pierce is phenomenal. I like it. I roll it out. There's not really anybody I want you to trade out because I like everybody. You know, could you upgrade ETN using Mooney? Maybe, like poke around, try and get a Swift. Sure, I'd do that. Take Swift. Try that trade. ETN and Mooney for Swift. Why not? Russell Wilson or Trey Sermon this week. I think you mean Trey Lance, buddy. Russell Wilson for right now. Kittle out. It just has me a little bit worried. I still love Trey Lance, but I think you're safer going that route. $100 fab, 10-team Madison on waivers. How much? Look, Madison isn't a lock to pick up. I would say a very small amount, enough to get it done in your mind based on history and trending, but I have no clue. When people say how much, I always respond the same. I don't know. How could I know what is enough in your league? Every league is going to have people that drop $100 out of 100 to get one guy. Some leagues never go above 20%, and you'd be laughed at if you dropped a 40 out of $100 wad on somebody. So, Derek, I couldn't possibly know. But what I can always tell you when I do my waiver wire show is I'm going to help you more than any other channel does because I'm going to give you confidence levels. Here's the waiver wire show, untouched from last week. Some of the things have probably changed on it. But I will tell you that when you say to me, hey, let's put Madison on this list, and you start saying like, we left it with Rachaad White being the top pickup of the year as of this moment, walking into week 1. But Madison's probably like a 7 or 6 on the confidence scale of being the best pickup of the year. He's not where Rachaad White is. He's not where Algier is. He's probably not where Pacheco or even Zamir White or Khalil Herbert are. But if Cook went down and they trust him, which is what we have a question about, right? We're hearing Ty Chandler. We're hearing all this like buzz about trading Madison. Is he really the backup, under a new regime? We don't really know. I would definitely secure him if you had the spot to secure him. But how much? I don't think I'm going and dropping like some huge wad on it when you don't even know for sure, even though I think it's weird. And I don't know that I buy it, but we don't know for sure if he's even the backup going forward. It's such a strange situation. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you, kind sir. And Christian says, can you target Akers as a second player in a deal in order to lower the value of the superstar player? In my case, JJ is the first player I'm targeting. Well, yeah, as I just explained over here with those trades, that's exactly what you do, Christian. You trade Cam Akers as an additive just to get a baby bump on one of the other players. Just a little itty-bitty upgrade, pal. A little itty-bitty upgrade's worth it. Trading Stafford into Burrow. Trading, and you're probably not going to do that now, trading Dak into Burrow or trading Dak into Mahomes or trading, a player like Andrews or some like Andrews more than Kelsey, and I can understand that. But like if you were to trade just a little bump, like a Chubb into a Javonte or Swift, I throw in Akers to get that kind of done. Absolutely, 100%. It's the only way to trade him right now. So could Darrell Henderson be a buy low or stay away? Honestly, his value got shot through the roof. So I don't know that he's a buy low right now. I think people that own him think they have a gold mine. And Kyron Williams is now out with 6 to 8 weeks with the surgery. So it's Darrell Henderson's the running back 1 there in a very potent offense. And I don't think you're going to be able to buy low. I think he's a good sell high. I'd hold him, but I don't think you can buy him low. I don't know that I'd even go that direction. I mean, poke around and see, but I mean, this is not one of those situations where it's, easy to buy a guy like that low. Better add Rachaad White, Parker, Zamir White, or Boyd. Well, I have this show up already. It goes through all of the top waiver wire guys for the year. Rachaad White ranks number 1, and he has the highest confidence level of about an 8.5 out of 10 for being the best pickup of the year at this juncture in the offseason. So that should answer your question there. But make sure you watch that entire video, Terry, because it will definitely, I think, enlighten you as to what waiver wire moves you could preemptively make. Noah Barnes dropping the $10 holler.
$10 plus super chat.
Thank you for the $10 holler. You get a standing O. You get a special button. Appreciate your support, and I want to focus on you and thank you properly. So Noah, thank you for the $10 holler. A string of trades today: Dynasty, JJ, Chase, McLaurin, Mooney, Kelsey, Hurts, CMC, ETN, Dobbins, Pierce, Rachaad White. Out of those pieces, what should I move to get Javonte? I would trade CMC for Javonte and another player. If you want to get rid of 2 players to get Javonte. I mean, it's probably too late to trade Dobbins now because now he's hurt already. Would I personally trade Kelsey for Javonte? I would. And I would try and, as long as you can get another tight end back or pick up one that you really, really like and then grab Likely as well as your backup plan, I would trade Kelsey. I would trade. I don't think you're going to get like ETN and McLaurin for Javonte, but I would do that. Mooney and ETN, I would do that. Pierce and maybe Mooney, I would maybe do that, but I love Pierce. I don't know that I want you trading Pierce. I'd rather go a different direction. Would I get rid of ETN and Mooney? Yeah. ETN and McLaurin? Yeah. Those are where I'd probably start. But again, I would take Javonte and another piece for CMC. When I say another piece, I mean like you should be able to get a lot because CMC is a top 5 pick in most people's minds. Not mine, but most people's minds. His fair market value is top 5. Javonte's fair market value is like 18 to 22 overall. You should be getting an AJ Brown in return for that CMC downgrade. That downgrade, which I don't think is a downgrade. I think Javonte Williams could finish as the number 1 overall running back in fantasy football 2022. And I think Javonte Williams has a very strong shot at being the number 1 overall pick in 2023 fantasy football drafts. So chew on that. Appreciate your super chat. Good buddy. Thoughts on Mixon this year? I think he's very good. I got other super chats rolling in. I'm going to throw them on screen. Don't worry. I won't miss you. And if I do, you can yell at me. Thank you, Collusion. I see yours. I'm going to drop it on screen in 1 second. Thoughts on Mixon this year? Don't hate him. Don't hate him, but I also don't absolutely love him to the tune of a first-round pick, so I didn't spend a first-round pick on him. But if you own him, do I think you hold him? Or, like, would I sell him high? Sure. But would I hold him? Absolutely. I think he's going to have a very, very good year. He's right around 13, 14, 15, 16 overall if you were to draft right now. Also, a good tight end with Ertz out, limited. Likely is a good emergency grab, but he's very risky, but he's got a lot of upside. And they may use Likely in Baltimore as the number 3 wide receiver. They want to get him on the field. They don't care if Andrews is there. They want both of them on the field. Everett, we talked about at the top of the show with Parham out in LA. It looks like it's going to be the Gerald Everett show, so pick him up and start him if you need a tight end. Collusion with a super chat. I'm going to put you over here, Collusion. Thank you. Other super chat, Romez, I got you right here, Romez. I'm going to put you right there. Another super chat here from Prime. Appreciate you. Got you on screen. This one's from Gabriel. I got you on screen, Gabriel. This one is from Aguero. I got you sitting there. Don't worry, good buddy. You're not getting lost. Top Gun in the house. What's up, Top Gun? I still love that movie. I've watched it like 5 times already. Top Gun, the new Top Gun Maverick. Such a good movie. Phenomenal. One of my favorite movies of all time. Absolutely magnificent. Okay, so I think I've got all the super chats on screen. Keep them coming though. I'll keep knocking them out. Should I trade Jefferson, Sanders, and Ayuk for DJ Moore, Mike Williams, and AJ Dillon? Jefferson, Sanders, and Ayuk for DJ Moore, Mike Williams, and AJ Dillon? No. As much as you could argue that there's good value coming your way, what if Mike Williams is this? What if AJ Dillon is this? What if DJ Moore bounces back? These are all a bunch of what ifs. And as much as I don't love Sanders at all, and as much as I worry a little bit about Ayuk's value right now, I feel like Jefferson's just the no-brainer. No way I'm making that trade. I'm not trading Jefferson, pal. Not unless I'm getting like massive pieces like a AJ Brown or like a Javonte and a McLaurin, or AJ Brown and a player like, I don't even know if I would take AJ Brown and Pierce. Like Justin Jefferson's special. He carries you week in and week out. You trade him, you need to get massive value back. You need to get like a second rounder and a third rounder, a second rounder and a fourth rounder. You need to get a Joe Burrow when you have no quarterback in conjunction with a Debo or something like that if you're going to trade Justin Jefferson. Just the way it is. Thoughts on Denver OC saying going with the hot hand? I already hit that at the top of the show. That's great news. It's great news, and you should use it to your advantage. It's hilarious that people think it's a negative. Like, who do you think's going to be the hot hand? The guy that broke more tackles than anybody in the National Football League playing halftime? It's going to be Javonte's season, and he's coming for everybody, and I can't wait. This message is from Master. Renfro or Julio and Pollard and Zeke half PPR. You probably got to go Zeke in week 1, but I think he will break. And then Renfro's safer than Julio, but it could go either way, man. Michael K, CPA. Who should I plug in my flex spot, Smitty? Mooney, ETN, or Dameon Pierce? Give me Dameon Pierce. Give me Dameon Pierce, guys. He's going to have a great game. I don't care. Everyone says tough matchup. Tough matchup. Oh, my God. Don't worry about it. Injuries. He's going to be fine. He's going to have a great game. 100 yards and a touchdown. Am I shying away from Mooney? No. Do I like ETN this week? Absolutely. Do I wish you could play both of them? I'm not telling you to bench anybody. I'm just telling you who I like the most of these two. I'm never going to tell you to bench ETN. You're not putting me in that box. ETN, Pierce, you need to have them both in your lineup. I don't know what problem you have on that team, and I can't resolve everything for you. But I would say certainly maybe a trade needs to happen because putting ETN on the bench is going to be painful. And you might as well try and upgrade wide receivers or something in the meantime. But I'm not going to tell you to sit ETN. I'm just not going to do it. But I'm starting Pierce over those guys. 12-team PPR for the flex. Monty or A.J. Dillon. It's A.J. Dillon for me. Until Monty proves himself, I'm worried about that offense. They have a tough matchup against the Niners. I'm not going near A.J. Dillon. But that's me. That's me. You obviously should roll with your gut. Don't listen to anybody but yourself. Be very, very cautious to stray away from your own gut instinct based on other people's opinions, even my own. Use me as a guide. But it's close though. What was this? Gabriel says Murray, Javonte, Swift, Devontae, Adams, St. Brown, Freiermuth, Nico Collins, Mooney, Akers, Gainwell, Zamir White, London, Likely, B-Rob. Trade suggestions. Javonte, Swift, Devontae Adams, St. Brown, Freiermuth. You got a really good team. If you would ask me this before the game, I'd say trade Akers right now. Trade Akers right now and Mooney for one better player. Now that ship has sailed, pal. But I would say Mooney and... Mooney and Murray for like a Herbert or something. Like you could go that route or just let it ride. Try and trade Akers and Mooney for somebody for one better player. A.J. Brown comes to mind. ETN using Mooney and Akers, that comes to mind. Past that, you're in a position where Akers and Freiermuth for a slightly better tight end upgrade. Past that, you're in a position where I think you got to wait. You got to let Zamir White gain value. B-Rob come back. Drake London's injured. Mooney's a little undervalued anyway. Nico Collins, no one's going to trade for. I don't want you to trade your starters except for upgrading maybe. Yeah, I don't even want you trading St. Brown. I like your team. Roll it out there. It's a fantastic squad, bro. Rush Prime says start 2, Monty, Pierce, Stevenson, Hall, or Carter. Give me Pierce. This is a start 1 question. Pierce is already in your lineup. Pierce should not be involved in this. It's between Monty, Stevenson, and Hall. And to be honest, it's like a dice roll situation. I don't know that you can really predict this accurately, even 6 times out of 10, because Monty, he still has a lot of upside, but he's got a lot of risk that I don't like. Stevenson has massive upside, but he also has risk because you don't know if this is going to be the game that he gets used, or are we going to see only Damian Harris in there and be like scratching our head? Breece Hall, it's a 50-50 divide until he separates himself, but he could do that in quarter 3 and break off a 75-yard touchdown run, and everybody be like, okay, it's time. It's time. And then you got questions like where Carter, coaches asked a question specifically put in a box to talk about Carter. How do you like Carter? Oh, he's the heart and soul of the team. I love him. Now everybody runs with that news, and all the Breece Hall owners are freaking out. If I had to, in a box, in a vacuum, Forrest, Pierce, and Stevenson. But you're not crazy to go Monty, and I certainly don't feel ultra confident in the second player. I feel very confident in Pierce, but I don't feel confident on the other. Bring it to me tomorrow night as well, and we'll see if I change my mind. JT Goddard and Scary Terry for Swift, Debo, and Pitts. Woo! JT Goddard and Scary Terry for Swift, Debo, and Pitts. Give me Swift, Debo, and Pitts all day long. Sorry, but JT and Swift are closer than people think, and these are the kind of deals that I smash all day long, twice on Sundays, because this is how you win a league.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Very good trade. Unbelievable. $10 hauler by Collusion.
$10 plus super chat.
Collusion. Invest. He's in. Hey, what do you do, Russian Collusion? He's at the bar. He's leaning up against the bar. Somebody walks up and says, "Hello, Russian Collusion. What do you do for a living?" "I'm an investor." "Ooh, an entrepreneur. What do you invest in?" "The Fantasy Football Show. You heard of it?" "Oh, yeah. I've heard of that sucker." "Yeah, I'm an investor." You know, they don't need to know how you invest, Russian, but you are an investor, a nice, secured, top-level investor in the Fantasy Football Show, pal. Use it at the sports bar. Use it when you're out and about. Smitty, I accidentally drafted Akers. I love that. I accidentally drafted Akers. You mean you drafted him, but handcuffed him to Hendo. Who could I get in a 2-for-1? I don't know. I try and get Pierce somehow adding to that. You trade both of them with the wide receiver for Pierce, both of them with the wide receiver for A.J. Brown. They have to be an accessory. It's all about saying yourself when you do a trade. This is trade advice 101, okay? Trade advice 101. You find an anchor for your trade. Who's your anchor? Okay, let's say it's AJB. Okay, that's who you want. Now you got to figure out what you're giving up. So you're giving up Cam and Hendo. That's not going to get you AJ Brown. Your anchor is too heavy on this side. So what can you add in? So then you add in a wide receiver like Bateman. Do they do it? Excellent. Get it done. Pull the trigger. Let's say you're doing a different deal, just to give an example of an anchor. Let's say you have CMC and you're trying to trade for a player and Javonte is the target. That's your anchor. You're going after Javonte. He's lower value than CMC, even though I quietly don't tell anybody like Javonte more than CMC this year. So to balance the scales, your anchor is less valuable than the player you're trading up. What can you have added in? Scary Terry McLaurin. Okay, punch it. Obviously AJ Brown. Punch it. Dameon Pierce. Punch it. Make sure your anchor, your target, your main target, and your anchor could be a lower value player by a significant amount. Maybe your anchor is, I want to go get Pierce. Okay, that's your anchor. I'm trading CMC and I want to get Pierce. Well, that affords you a very heavy second player that probably outweighs Pierce. Now you can go get a potential Adams. You know, like you could do CMC for Adams and Pierce if you wanted. Some would even say they wouldn't even do that. But my point is, your anchor was Pierce. That affords you a very heavy second player. It's all about balancing the scales. All about balancing the scales when you're doing a trade. Just joined back. Has Smitty talked about Knox yet? Drew, I'll say real quickly that I'm not panicking on Knox like everybody's panicking and should be panicking on A-Rob and Akers. The reason there's more panic with A-Rob and Akers, especially Akers, because you know why I say panic on Akers. No one should have drafted him if you're watching my content. But A-Rob, I was very against 4th and 5th round value. Like, I didn't understand people drafting Deontay, A-Rob, Fournette in these 3rd and 4th round values. I'm very much against Pittman at like bottom of 2nd round or top of 3rd round. That's too high. It doesn't, just like Allen Robinson, doesn't protect you at all. You can't afford any missteps. If you took Pittman at 2.12, you can come in here until you're blue in the face and say, Pittman season, he's going to be an absolute monster. You can come in and say that until you're blue in the face. But when you spend a 2.12 on Pittman or a 3.3 on Pittman, or you spend some high draft capital like 4.4 on A-Rob, you're leaving yourself no room whatsoever to maneuver or weather through some kind of slow start. And you talk about a guy like Knox, very late player you're grabbing, very touchdown dependent, sure. But guess who throws footballs around in Buffalo? His name's Josh Allen. And he's going to throw a lot of touchdowns all over the place. I think Knox is very capable of a 10 TD season. I think Knox is very capable of being a very undervalued acquisition right now. And I'm certainly not panicking because he didn't get utilized in a game where Josh Allen went crazy. It's not like Stafford did bad and he's got an elbow injury and A-Rob did bad. Knox did bad, but Josh Allen blew up and the Bills look phenomenal. There's a huge difference there. Okay, and so I'm not worried about Knox if you own him, and I definitely go poke around at trying to trade for him if you don't own him, because I think next week when defenses from next week on start keying on trying, they won't have success, but trying to lock down Gabe Davis and Diggs and say, beat us with Knox, I think Knox is going to get the ball. So I love the idea of trading for Dawson Knox or holding him. Am I panicked a little bit? I wouldn't even say that. I'd say it was disappointing. And do I wonder if he'll have games like this? Maybe. But I'm certainly not expecting this to be a dud. Okay, Knox just got a big contract. They're going to throw him the football. Drop Rondell for Nico, Jeff Wilson, or Rachaad White. I pick up Rachaad White unless you need the wide receiver. Then I grab Nico and start him. But if you don't need the wide receiver, then I'm not too worried about grabbing the running back and saying, hey, that's going to be something special for me maybe down the stretch for either trade bait or be one of those win a league players I'm tossing in my lineup. I'm getting these other super chats that just came in and tossing them on screen, so just hang tight while I throw all these on board here. Don't go anywhere. Ozzy, drop Rondell, so I think I'm caught up to that point. That is the last one I got. I got Russian collusions. I got Romez, Terry, Swift, Pitt. Yeah, that Pitts trade. Did you get that trade done? Prime. I think I'm caught up. If I missed anybody else's super chat up above, please let me know. Aguero, 12-team PPR, Flex, Monty, or AJ. I think I'm all caught up. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here. Anybody else has a question, let me know. Okay. This one's from Cole. And yeah, to address the A-Rob thing. So you got anybody that drafted A-Rob in the 4th round made a huge, grave mistake. Plain and simple. He's not a 4th rounder. He's a second wide receiver on a team coming from another team where he didn't deliver for 2 years and there was multiple quarterbacks in the rotation. So you can't blame the quarterback. Mooney survived the rotation of quarterbacks and delivered. So A-Rob didn't. But I do like A-Rob still to a degree where I would have drafted him 6th, 7th round. I'm fine with that. The problem is he didn't go there, so I didn't own him. But like if you're expecting 6th or 7th round value go forward, if you can reset your expectation, you might get that. Because Odell took a while to adjust. It's not like Stafford had a great game. So therefore, when a quarterback has a bad game and everybody does bad, everybody starts saying, oh, do I panic about the wide receiver? A lot of it's on the quarterback. The concern I have is that Stafford did bad, and A-Rob did bad. A-Rob's done bad for 2 years. And then on top of that, Stafford's got the elbow that might get worse. We don't know. Therefore, there's a lot more negativity toward A-Rob than there would be toward a Knox, who's on an amazing team where his quarterback exploded and he just didn't get to partake. Very different between A-Rob and Knox. They're not the same. Kyler's 2022 season thoughts. I like him in like the 5 to 8 range. I put him in a big range, maybe 5 to 9, because there are a lot of quarterbacks. Wouldn't shock me if Russell Wilson outscored him, Dak outscored him. It wouldn't shock me if Kyler was number 5 overall. That 5 to 10 even range is very tight. And I think there's a big difference between Josh Allen, Herbert, Burrow, and Mahomes. That's why I have those 4 quarterbacks and Hurts kind of flirting with that group. I have those 4 quarterbacks, Mahomes, Burrow, Josh Allen, and Herbert, or Herbert, Josh Allen. Those 4 are head and shoulders above the other quarterbacks, in my opinion, whereas the 6 to 10 or 6 to 12 are so close. It's like I like A-Rod as much as a guy drafted at number 6 overall for quarterbacks. So it's a very, very, volatile position to rank, and Kyler is good. He scrambles, he runs, he's got injury risk. He's got, Rondell Moore out. Now you got Hopkins out 6 weeks. You got just Hollywood. There's a lot of turmoil there. They got a really tough schedule. They got probably the toughest schedule in the National Football League. They didn't get rated there, but I looked at the schedules, and I'm telling you, they have the toughest schedule in the National Football League. But they still can win games. Playing from behind means Kyler throws a lot, so that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Kelsey for Javonte and Kittle. I take Javonte and Kittle in a heartbeat. And that's not because Kittle is influencing me too much on that, but hopefully Kittle does regain value, gets on the field, and that will be a good move from the Kittle perspective, like just to have him. But I take Javonte over Kelsey straight up. Straight up. You got Muth on the bench, do it, Tanner. You should have drafted Javonte over Kelsey. But I'm going to say this, Tanner. Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
And I'm going to say this, Tanner. For your super chat, you get to go to the moon, young man.
To the moon.
So good job, Tanner. Pat yourself on the back while you take that lap because you're making an amazing trade, and it takes a big brain to pull something like that off. So nice job. 12 team. This is from Jamie. $10 plus holler.
$10 plus super chat.
Mashed potatoes!
Appreciate you. 12 team, full PPR, 2 flex. Obviously need a new tight end. Burrow, Javonte, ETN, JJ Pittman, Hollywood Brown, A-Rob, Noah Fant, bench, Hunt, Stevenson, Boyd, Garrett Wilson, Hines, Gainwell, Madison, Likely. What are my thoughts? Burrow, Javonte, ETN, JJ. You've got the almost the tripod. You got the cousin of the tripod. Burrow, Javonte, and Chase. Well, you've got just as good, and some would argue better, version of the tripod.
The tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Javonte Williams.
So you got this sucker with the JJ in place of the Jamar, which is fine by me. And that puts you in good positioning in my mind right out of the gate. You get an ETN on top of that, a Pittman on top of that. You're set up very, very nicely. Stevenson's a beast in waiting, maybe even a beast in week 1. I like it. There's nothing to do. There's no trades to make. You didn't list any. Hollywood Brown, maybe you could trade away with Stevenson for one better player, potentially. Is AJ Brown even that level of a player you would target? Maybe. So I love your team, bro. I love your team. ETN and Hollywood. Maybe Hollywood has such a big game in week 1 and Swift has a kind of mediocre game. Maybe you trade ETN in Hollywood for Swift and get Javonte and Swift up in there. Or Najee or something like that. But that's what I'd be looking to do. Past that, there's not a lot of trades you can do now because your team is straight fire, and I absolutely love it. So don't fret. Don't think you didn't do well. You did fantastic. You get a Smitty approval from me.
You've just been Smitty approved.
And you get my thanks for the super chat, young man. Absolute menace this guy is on the super chat front. Love it. Gun to head, 0.5, Pollard or Breece Hall, week 1. Give me Pollard just for week 1. Just for week 1. What's your seasonal take on Devontae Smith? I love him. I think he's going to be a fantastic wide receiver 3. 0.5 PPR, pick 2, DK, Judy, Penny. Penny's interesting this week. I won't lie. But I think I'm going to go DK and Judy, but that's me. If it's PPR, or it's 0.5 PPR. So even if it's 0.5, I could go Judy. But you're not crazy to go Penny. You're not. It wouldn't be a horrible move. But I'd probably sit Judy for Penny if you do that. Taking calls for tonight's stream, or should I buy a one-on-one? Efren, you can buy a one-on-one to get more detail, but I should be opening the phone lines as well. But feel free to do both, pal. I'd love to have you order a call as well. Would you trade Stevenson for DK? I would rather have DK at this point in the season, but I love both of them, and I could see both of them being very similar in value or one outscoring the other. But for right now, DK, because Stevenson doesn't have anything locked and loaded into place. DK is going to do very well. People are very, very pessimistic about DK, and it's getting out of control. Cole says, trade Henry and Akers for Javonte and Debo.
You've just been Smitty approved.
I don't know how else I can, again?
You've just been Smitty approved.
I mean, that's a smash and a half, bro. I draft Javonte over Henry, and I'm called crazy, but I don't care. And you're getting Debo you're basically saying, hey, Smitty on the show. This is basically what you're calling up, and we're all going to laugh at the idea, right? Smitty, should I trade Akers for Debo. Yeah, buddy, do it because Javonte and Henry are at least equal. You're trading Akers for Debo.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Unreal. I wish I was able to do that. I don't own Akers, so I don't need to, but that's a phenomenal trade, bro. You did absolutely great for yourself there. Jordan with the super chat. Jordan, I'm going to look for your question. Usually, if you paste it really closely by, I can answer. But thank you for your super chat. Regardless, I don't see a question from you. I will try and find and locate it. But thank you for your super chat, good buddy, kind sir. Would you trade Stevenson for DK? I got to that one. Give me DK. Julio to the moon. No, bro. Like I don't mind Julio. I could see him scoring. I really could. I could see him scoring in this game. And I could see him having a decent game. But to the moon, we can't get carried away. And I'm starting Hollywood Brown and St. Brown over him. But you're not going to get a moon call or a moon shot out of Julio. That's just not going to happen. But I appreciate you. You are the man. Julio to the moon. No. I think we're caught up on those super chats. Brad dropping one. Ozzy dropping a super chat. Appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. My people. Stash Pacheco or Nico. Equal position of depth. Give me Pacheco. If you're not starting Nico, give me Pacheco. 10-team PPR, had to pick 8. Team rating and trade advice posted below. Here we go. When I saw Michael K. CPA. When I see Michael K. CPA, I stop in my tracks and I try and locate this man's question. Please smash. He's not even asking a question. He's just trying to support. Please smash the like button and hit 200 plus likes. We got about 370 to 380 people in the room right now. 191 thumbs up. Appreciate all of you. Waddle. Let's see here. Waddle. Najee Harris, AJ Brown, Burrow, Javonte, Fryer move, St. Brown, benches, Hall, Pollard, Gibson. Love it, man. You got good trade value in Gibson. You could trade Gibson and I don't want to trade Gibson and Waddle. Trade Gibson and Waddle. Trade Hall and Waddle. Try and get into a Swift. Try and get into a you already got Javonte. Try and get into a, I don't know, like Waddle and Gibson for like a, you're not going to get Diggs now, but Diggs would have been perfect if you asked this question yesterday. But, Adams or you probably can't even get Adams, but maybe a Debo. Waddle and Gibson for a second-round wide receiver. Tyreek Hill maybe even for Waddle and Gibson. I will work those trades. Past that, your team's very good. You're very solid. You don't need to make any moves. I like your squad a lot. What's up, Terry? Appreciate you. David, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, David. Appreciate you, good buddy. Michael K. CPA is the man, the myth, the legend. Appreciate Michael K. Let's see here. What else we got? What else we got, good buddies, good pals? Who wins this trade, Kelsey or ETN and Hawkinson? Probably Kelsey, but I do worry a lot about Kelsey. I'd maybe look to get more than that if I had Kelsey. Jeb spamming, bro, take Hollywood. Geez. What is Jeb saying over and over and over? I don't see it. Maybe he got moderated. Jeb, be careful to sending it too many times in a row. Top Gun, Dalvin Cook for Swift. What do you think? I take Swift in a heartbeat over Dalvin Cook. I would have drafted him. You should have drafted Swift over Cook, in my opinion. But you can rectify that right here, right now, with the move there, pal. Nice job, broski. Okay. David with the super chat. David, thank you for the super chat, my man. Thoughts on Treylon Burks stash? Yeah, I like him. He's got volume. He was my number one wide receiver coming into the draft, and then I admit I've been very disappointed in him. He fell clear out of my top 3 rookie wide receivers because of the the asthma and the just disappointing and not rising, not taking advantage of camp and impressing. But he's been very, very good lately, and it looks like he's going to be a volume hog as a rookie and could lead all rookies in like targets and just be heavily involved because that offense needs him badly to be heavily involved. So I very much like the idea of having him as your wide receiver 4 with the opportunity to become your wide receiver 3 at some point. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Who's better on your bench, Pickens or Kirk? Probably Kirk out the gate, but I think Pickens eventually does become the better fantasy football asset for you as a 3-4 type wide receiver. I think he eventually becomes the number 1 in Pittsburgh by the beginning of next year. So by the beginning, maybe not at some point this year, or we see flashes of it, but by walking into 2022, I predict that people will be saying this is the number 1 wide receiver. Smitty, give me that Treylon Burks breakdown, man. How do you think he's going to do? I just explained that, Steve. Appreciate you. Who's the next person to tank? Fournette is a good prospect for that. I mean, we've got J.K. already, in a position to disappoint. Godwin, MT. Pretty much all the guys we've been saying. Thank you, Deb. Appreciate you. I'm more looking out for you. I don't want you to get your comments held up so I can't even see them, because that's what happens when you repetitively put something in there. YouTube might hold it, and then I don't see it. Hunt, Pollard, flip a coin. Give me Pollard. Took off your headphones for a second. I just basically said that Burks is a great wide receiver 3-4, Steve. He's got potential for massive volume, and I liked him a lot as a rookie walking in. He was my number 1 ranked rookie walking into the draft. Then he disappointed, kind of dropped off, but now I'm liking him again, and I think he could, lead the Look at the membership from Mealy joining the YouTube memberships. Mealy. John joining the YouTube memberships. It looks like Collusion has gifted memberships to 5 or so lucky watchers right there. Illogic has got a gifted membership. Russian Collusion dropping. Let's give a round of applause for Russian Collusion, who gifted at least 5 memberships out. Omar's getting one of them. Russian. Attention. Russian Collusion has gifted YouTube memberships, and now Nick is getting one as well.
To the moon.
Thank you, Russian Collusion. Kenneth Brown is now a recipient of Russian Collusion's YouTube exclusive membership. Scotty was gifted membership by Terry Roberts. Did Terry gift him as well? Bad Sport got one as well. Bad Sport, congratulations. Kurt. Did Kurt get one? Steven? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who all got him. Carter got a YouTube exclusive membership gifted by these bad boys. I think it's Terry and Collusion, but unbelievable. Rashad White, Elijah Moore for Pierce. I'd take Pierce in a heartbeat. There's not even a question. Kurt says, Terry Roberts, I hope you do well in fantasy. Terry's scary. Terry's on patrol.
Terry, he's scary. Terry's on patrol.
Appreciate you guys gifting those. We got the Harvest got one. Dude, I love to be gifted that membership. Well, Steve, they're randomly gifted. Mashed potatoes, Spiffy. Appreciate you. Do I trade JT and Mike Evans to get Najee and Devontae Adams? I probably would rather have Najee and Adams, but it's very close. Very close. Joel, getting one. You guys are awesome. Terry and Collusion dropping gifted memberships. You love to see it. I see it right now. Collusion gave 10 of them. Collusion gifted 10 memberships. Oh, great. I can see it now. Terry gifted 5 memberships. I don't see who they're going to, but I see the number. So 10 of them by Collusion, 5 of them by Terry. G Money dropping a $10 holler.
$10 plus super chat.
Mashed potatoes.
D-Town getting a YouTube membership and that gifting going on here. It's randomly done by YouTube. When someone gifts memberships, it spreads them out all nicely. Kurt getting one. Kurt got one. That's the one from Terry, I assume. They're going to be rolling in. There's 15 of them that are going to roll in, so appreciate you guys. Kenny Powers gifting another 5 memberships, so this is going to happen for quite some time. G Money dropping that super chat too. G Money super chat. Let's answer that. Why these memberships come rolling in from Kenny Powers, Terry, and Collusion, Russian Collusion. Appreciate you guys supporting everybody in here and supporting the channel at the same time. Joseph getting one of those bad boys. $9.99 super chat from G Money. What do you think of proposing this trade? I give Taylor Frymouth. I get Swift and Pitts. I get Swift and Pitts, and I run for the hills, bro. Mendoza getting it. Swift and Pitts in a heartbeat. Here's the thing. JT and Swift are a lot closer than people think. I really believe that. Eddie getting a YouTube exclusive membership. Thank you, guys. We got 20 of these rolling in right here because of the kindness of Terry, Roberts, Russian Collusion, and Kenny Powers. So appreciate you guys. Take Swift and Pitts and run. G Money, run. I love that trade. JT's not that far above Swift. He's just not. Kelsey for Pitts and Pierce. I take Pitts and Pierce and run for the hills, Tanner. Both of those are absolutely Smitty approved, without question, without hesitation, without equivocation. There's no arguing. There's running, only running to accept that trade and come back. Leave the live stream right now. Hit the button and come back and tell me you did it. Trey Lance and Mooney for Burrow. Should you do it? Give me Burrow all day long, Top Gun. I'm sorry, Trey Lance. I love Trey Lance, but I love Burrow more. What's the one-on-one text advice and how much is it? If you go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, good buddy, you will see it all mapped out there. It depends on the plan. You get. You could get the lifetime content with the 2 years of text advice. Below the pricing table, you can buy just text advice, $49.99 for the season, on-demand texting. Or you can get it in a package like content, bold predictions, rankings, and the text advice for the year for $75. Get on over there to thefantasyfootballshow.com and get your membership on, pal. Go get it. Go do it. Go do it live. I Smoke Herb said he got a membership as well. Congratulations, everybody that got those gifted memberships. Appreciate you. Top Gun, Trey Lance and Mooney for Take Burrow. Thank you for the super chat on that, hero. ABOZ dropping a super chat. Thank you. Left a voicemail. Been working. Need trade advice. Okay, I'll look for that voice message. Appreciate you dropping that super chat. Thomas dropping one. Would you start Pierce or Michael Carter? Pierce, like almost. Look, Thomas. This is tough love. Okay. First of all, you super chatted, so thank you. You to the moon.
To the moon.
But this question, just for emphasis, emphasizing and expressing my passion for the answer, it's not even close for me. It's Dameon Pierce. It's Dameon Pierce all day long. But take a lap and pat yourself on the back because you have a massive brain on top of your shoulders, Thomas, because you drafted Dameon Pierce. And I can tell you drafted early because if you took him in the 4th or 5th round, you wouldn't be contemplating this. You are one of the magnificent geniuses that were a part of the wave and movement here on the channel to draft Dameon Pierce early in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th round range. Start understanding what you got, though, in this kid. Roll him out there as a top 4 round draft pick like type of player. He's got that kind of value right now. Don't even hesitate running him out on the field. He's got low-end running back 1 appeal at the very least, Thomas. Thomas, you just got one as well. Randomly. Oh, no. No, never mind. That was a super chat. I thought that was the YouTube exclusive membership rolling in. That was Thomas's super chat announcement. Okay. I believe we're all caught up on the super chats and the announcements of the gifted memberships. Appreciate Russian Collusion. Appreciate Kenny Powers and appreciate Terry for dropping all of those. Let's go to the voicemails right now and start answering your voicemail questions.
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
Okay, from voicemail group number 2, Kevin.
A-Rob right now. We holding A-Rob after last night's game?
Are we holding A-Rob? This poor guy. Listen to the panic in his voice. The poor guy.
Any thoughts on A-Rob right now? We holding A-Rob after last night's game?
I love the end of that. It's like the panic in this man's voice at the end of the statement.
Hey, Smitty, thoughts on A-Rob right now? We holding A-Rob after last night's game?
After last night's game, Smitty? Are we doing it? Poor guy. Look, you're holding A-Rob. You're holding A-Rob. You're not dropping A-Rob. You're not dropping him. Russian collusion. Did Russian collusion... did Russian collusion drop another? It's hard to see. No, thank you. Russian G Money, thank you. Let's get these on screen here. G Money, Kyle, Thomas. Would I trade? Yeah, okay, got that one out of the way. Let me put these over in the corner here. Thank you, Kyle. I'm gonna shout you out in a second. You're not dropping A-Rob. You're not cutting bait with A-Rob. You might not even be putting him on your bench if he's your wide receiver 3. We just kind of wait and see. You know, we got to wait and see, feel it out for next week. Don't overreact. Don't freak out. A-Rob didn't get hurt or anything. It's more like a worry about Stafford at this point and trying to figure out what's going on with Stafford. Here's Terry Roberts' is super chat. Here we go. I don't know why that's not playing, Terry. Hold on. Voicemail group number 1.
Hey, what's up, man?
Silver.
None of y'all gonna tell me what you think? The trade offers, he sent it earlier. He sent me, I was trying to do the other day, I was trying to do Lance and Kittle. That's who I was gonna get rid of, was Lance and Kittle. And I was gonna try to get Kyler and Goddard. And they turned that down, and Kittle got hurt, you know what I mean? Well, earlier he said he'd do Lance and Dameon Pierce for Kyler. And then I said, I'd probably do Gibson. And then boom, he sent the offer for Gibson. So I'm thinking about doing the 2-for-1, giving him Gibson and Lance, taking Kyler, going to the free agent list and grabbing Brian Robinson because he's out there still. You know what I'm saying? So I could do it that way. But you look at the schedule, Kyler's got a rough schedule. You know what I'm saying? For the whole year, look at the whole year. His schedule's looking rough every week. And then you look at Lance's, and it looks kind of easy. But Kyler...
Yeah, that's a tough one, Silver. I mean, I probably take Kyler, but I like that Pierce one. I do that Pierce trade you're talking about. That Pierce trade was phenomenal. Caden. I don't know if I got to quit IG because it's acting up. It's not playing these voice messages right now. This is I think Miss Smitty's got cookies delivered here. Whoa, we got some chocolate chip cookies being delivered. You know, I'm not much for sweets. I don't eat a lot of sweets, admittedly, but when she orders these from Cookie Crumble, and they deliver them, they're like these hot chocolate chip cookies the size of this right here, exact size of this. The cookie looks about this size. It comes from Crumble. They come in a box. There's like 5 of them in there. They're huge. And Miss Smitty just ordered a bunch of them for us right now. I see them at the door. Whoa, those look good. Those look real good. Okay, let's play this one from Caden. These messages aren't playing for some reason. I don't know if IG's acting up or what's not, but I don't think I can do the voicemails right now. They're not playing. We'll have to get to the voicemails on the next show. Let's go to the phone lines instead. So I apologize for everybody that left the voicemail. We'll try and get it done next show. And let's get to the voice messages, or I'm sorry, the phone calls. You guys can call in right now.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right, dial in to the show here, 602 NFL 3664. Dial in Cookie Crumble. It's good. Is it Cookie? Did I say Cookie Crumble? I think it's Cookie Crumble. Yeah, Cookie Crumble's the name. It's so good, bro. The chocolate chip cookies like the size of this. I mean, how can you go wrong? Hot, warm chocolate chip cookies just melt in your mouth. It's unbelievable. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, this is Kenny Smitty.
Kenny Powers?
No, this is Kenny Brown.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound disappointed there.
Oh, no, it's all good. I mean, I'm not too new to the show. I'm kind of like a secret watcher. So
Secret watcher.
It's the first time I've ever called in.
First time caller. All right, Kenny Brown. Tell me what I can do for you.
All right. So I've got this work league going on right now, and let's see. I've got Brandon Cooks, Amon St. Brown, Dameon Pierce, and Elijah Moore. And I need to start two of them. I'm gonna guess you're gonna say start Dameon Pierce, but who's my third? Who's my second one?
Cooks, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Dameon Pierce, and who else?
Elijah Moore.
I mean it's St. Brown.
Brandon Ayers, but I don't.
It's St. Brown and Pierce all the way.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I was just making sure because I'm like.
I mean, anything can.
Cook is safe.
Anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen, but it's like those are your monsters right there. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to start your studs. Like you drafted. Where did you draft St. Brown?
St. Brown, I think I got him in the 9th.
Okay, that was a steal. Do you know he's going in like round 4 or 5 right now? So
I mean, I got a lot of people way late. I got Dameon Pierce, I think, in the 8th.
You know what's funny though is you're disrespecting Dameon Pierce and St. Brown because of where you drafted him. If anybody right now was in a draft tonight, they would draft Dameon Pierce at the end of the 4th round or top of the 5th round. They would draft St. Brown in the 4th round. And do you think those people would be contemplating benching either one? No, because they wouldn't have any other options. They would have spent high draft capital on them. You can always tell when somebody drafted early, because like when you're considering putting Pierce and St. Brown on the bench, you are tying your own draft ADP to those players' upside. Like you need to. I don't know if you know the Seinfeld episode where Jerry takes his car in and the mechanic doesn't appreciate how Jerry's been treating the car, so he steals the car and doesn't give it to Jerry. I almost feel like you don't deserve to own Pierce and St. Brown right now. Get him out onto the lineup, onto the field.
Well, I've got Javonte Williams, and I'd have a hard time not starting Saquon Barkley, even though I know you're not a fan, but I got him in the 5th. So I'm like,
yeah, I know. I'm more joking with you, but you when you get them that late, you're afforded to have them as depth, so it's kind of tough. I get it. But of the options you gave me, St. Brown and Pierce are goes, bro. Put them in. St. Brown he's done nothing but deliver since week 13, bro. Nothing but deliver. You know, like we really gonna doubt this kid?
Done. Like I mean, St. Brown was already in. He was sitting in my flex, but I'll move St. Brown to my wide receiver 2 and push Cooks out. It's just Cooks is safe, and that's the only reason why I kind of had him in there. He's just safe. That's the only reason. I
hear you, and I don't mind it if you did it. Like it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I personally think it's smarter to go with the guy that's continued to drop massive points all over the field from week 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Top 5 wide receiver pretty much in every single one of those weeks too. And he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder. They drafted a wide receiver that's supposed to take over and be the number 1. Bro, St. Brown's got something to say about it. His dad's a Mr. Universe, 2 times Mr. Universe. This guy's taught him how to train, how to condition, how to keep his body healthy. And St. Brown remembers every wide receiver that was drafted ahead of him. He probably has tattoos on his body of every wide receiver drafted ahead of him. This guy, you don't sit this man on the bench. All right, man. Appreciate your call.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Yeah, call in anytime. All right, phone lines are open. Dial in. This is a call from Joe. Joe, you're live on the show.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Joe?
All right, so I got 2 tough ones for you. The first one is ETN or Dameon Pierce. I don't know what to do.
I mean, that is a tough one. I admit, I struggle with that question, and I get that question a lot. I think
I'm leaning towards Damian, but I don't know.
Yeah, I ultimately lean toward Damian. For week one, I mean, it's a tough matchup, but at the same time, it's not like there's some injuries there, and there's some reasons why Pierce, I think, could definitely deliver. I think Pierce is like probably 100 and a touchdown feel to him. Whereas ETN, we kind of know what we expect out of him. Will we see it in week one? How will Jacksonville be in their first game out after dismantling and rebuilding from the horrible regime right before it? It's a reset year. I really do like Trevor Lawrence, but I kind of want to wait and see when my option and alternative is Dameon Pierce. So run Dameon Pierce out onto the field without much of a hesitation, my man.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I was leaning that way. And then the next one is Deontay Johnson said he's going to play, but I also have Christian Kirk that I can put him in. I just feel like he has a better matchup with his corner, and I feel like he's safer because he gives volume in his PPR. I just don't want to put Deontay out there and then he mess around and have to leave the game.
Yeah, here's what I do. You have another option? Is there like an option you're not telling me about that might even be better?
I don't think there's anybody better, to be honest with you, than those two guys. I had Josh Allen and what's the other receiver? Not Diggs, the other one. I had them two, so I got a good start. That's why I was thinking, like, maybe I should just put Kurt in and be safe because I already am up in that league. Because I mean, Deontay obviously has the upside, but if he gets hurt, then he can just screw me.
Yeah,
but those are the two best options. I have like Olave, but like who knows? Like, you know what I mean? I kind of want to see him.
Yeah, but I guess I'd say like you invested in Deontay at a high draft capital. Like I'd almost, if he's playing, I'd almost throw him out there. I feel like he's over Kirk. He's probably worth the risk. Kirk's safer, but like I don't know. Trust your gut, but my opinion would be if you drafted Deontay and invested in him the way that you probably did, you're literally going to put where'd you get him? 5th round? Probably too early, but
no. This was an auction league. I actually got Burrow and Josh Allen, and then Javonte and Dalvin Cook, and then I just waited and I got like him, Terry McLaurin, and Gabe Davis as my 3 receivers, and then I have the bench guy. So, I said, I'm up in that league because Josh Allen went off.
I would throw Deontay out there, even though I don't love him, but just for the upside.
Okay.
But
then the other thing was, those are the 2 leagues, so I appreciate it. The thing about McCaffrey is I heard he just got cleat. It's like he got hit by a cleat, but he doesn't really have like a problem.
Yeah,
it was like misinterpreted stuff. I don't know if you know that, but
yeah, there's people that reported it differently. It's just a shin issue, but just because you got cleated doesn't mean there isn't a bruise of some kind that's going to cause like pain and like you could get cleated, bro, and still have like a crack in your shin bone. You know what I mean? Like remember a shin injury is all that Gibson had last year. And everyone said he had a broken leg, and they're like, no, it's shin splints, basically. Well, guess what? Shin splints is pretty bad, and that is, in a sense, a broken part of the leg or cracked part of the shin bone. So, like, I while I agree with you when he got cleated, and you're like, okay, he just got cleated, why was he sitting out if he just got cleated? Like, think about that. Like something had to have happened to where he got cleated in a way he had to sit out. So what happened to his shin? How sore was it? What kind of... a little bit more complicated than that, but I know a lot of people want to rush to be like, oh, it was just the cleating. He just got, it was a paper cut. Yeah. He's fine. He wouldn't have been sitting out if it was fine, but hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, I got him in one league just because he was a cheap keeper. So that's the only reason why, but like, I don't have too much stock in him, but I did get Burrow and Javonte, and I got Josh Allen in a super flex league, and Josh Allen looks crazy. And I know Joe Burrow is going to be nice too. So That's the league that I'm worried about today. But
all right, Joe, I got to go to the next call. Appreciate you. Dial in anytime, pal. Bye.
Hey,
Sorry to jump on you there, Joe. Got to keep the show moving, pal. Love you. Appreciate you. Thank you for calling in. This super chat's from Michael. Pick one running back, 2, Mitchell, Etienne, or Penny. Give me Etienne of that group. I don't mind Mitchell. G-Money, you still here? I'm sorry it took me so long to answer this question. Would you offer Trey Lance and Pollard, Thielen, Ayuk for Burrow? Trey Lance, Pollard, Thielen, Ayuk for Burrow. That's a lot of players. Depends if the waiver wire is really rich. Then I probably would, because you could pick up Rashad White, Isaiah Likely for your tight end spot. I'd be tempted to do that. I love Burrow this much that I would be tempted to do that. It depends on your depth, though. You know what I'm saying? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. How can I help you?
Yo, good to hear from you. Just a new subscriber, and I love what you're doing.
Attaboy.
Quick question. I'm in a half-point PPR keeper league. I have Cooper Kupp, who's my keeper, and I've got CMC, but my problem is the flex. I've got a bunch of rookies on my squad, and I have Dameon Pierce, who I will be starting in one flex. With that second flex, should I go Breece Hall, or should I take a risk with possibly Olave, or I'm not going to touch Drake London because it sounds like he'll probably not be playing.
I go Hall. I mean, Olave's got some upside, I suppose, but I go with the big home run hitter, the 4.39 speed, the guy that's going to get half the work at least, and then all he's got to do is pop one off. And I don't care what a coach says. I don't care what a coach, intends to do. Like, if you put a guy in the field and he breaks off an 80-yard run, a 55-yard run, all it's going to take is one carry for him to pop off a 40, 50-yard. Like, he's a 4.39 running back. People forget he's a bruiser. He's amazing between the tackles, but he also runs a 4.39. And I just think at some point, you stick with a hot hand if your hot hand's breaking off big runs. So I would roll the dice with Hall, if that's even considered rolling the dice. But you're not crazy to like Olave, but as a rookie, I kind of need to wait and see.
Exactly, and that's kind of how I feel about Tolbert as well, because he's another option.
Yeah, Gallup's out, but Tolbert's still got something to prove to me before I start rolling him out.
Absolutely. All right, no, I appreciate.
Hey, what was your name?
Brandon.
Brandon, appreciate you, man. Glad you found the show. How'd you find it, by the way? Just recommendation on looking around.
Actually, YouTube, yeah, and it popped up clearly because I like to go through all of them and see who's really accurate and. Your show popped up, and I've actually caught a few of your other casts as well. So it's probably been about 2 weeks now, and I'm going back reviewing your stuff, and hey, I love it.
Awesome.
And
man.
I got the Hurts AJ Brown stack as well in my draft. So.
Nice. I love that stack. It's gonna be so fun. The Eagles are such a fun underdog, scenario. Like everyone doubting them. Hurts is not a good, he's a dink and dunk passer. Like get ready. Get ready. He could throw 300 yards any given Sunday. This guy could throw 400 yards. Exactly. I keep telling people, out of all the quarterbacks in the NFL, he's in the top 5 as a guy I would predict. Like if you said, tell me a guy right now that's going to throw for 400 yards this weekend. He's one of 5 guys I would name on the regular and say he's 400 yard. He's that kind of quarter. People don't even understand it. They think he's a dink and dunk 200-yard passer. He's not. And he could run for 700, 800, 900 yards. He may end up being a 4,000, 1,000 rusher, 4,000-yard passer, 1,000-yard rusher at some point in his career. And that's going to be phenomenal.
We saw that. We saw that in Alabama as well as Oklahoma. I mean, he's up there in Heisman voting for a reason.
Yeah. Keep doubting him, people. Keep doubting him. I love it. All right, man. Appreciate you, Brandon. Call in anytime, man.
Appreciate you. Take care.
All right, Kyle, you still here? Cameron with the super chat. Kyle with the super chat. Jensen with a super chat. Let me get these super chats out of the way. Michael with the super chat. And I think that catches me up. Doc said, I think Doc with the super chat. Yes, sir. Kyle, G-Money, thank you. G-Money, you're still here, right? And I took care of your question, right? Let me see. G-Money. Pollard, Ayuk, yeah. So I like Burrow if you have the depth for it, G-Money. It's tough, though, to know what's going on exactly with your roster. But Smitty got Kupp, Javonte, Monty, Pierce, DK, Russell Wilson, Freiermuth, Cooks, Madison, Bateman, Walker, Olave, Dobbs, White, 12-team PPR. What do you think? I love Cup, Javonte, and your QB is who? Who's your Russell Wilson? So Russell Wilson, Javonte, Cup, Damian Pierce, DK, Freiermuth, Cooks, Madison. I do like it. I feel like, Doc, you're probably one move away, broski. One move away. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean, there's a lot of teams that are going to be close, right? You're going to come out of your draft. There's like 5 of you that are in the mix. And I feel like you're not going to be standing out above them. You're going to be with them. You're very, very good squad. Monty's someone I'd love to trade. Monty and Bateman for one slightly better running back. Or actually, because you got Pierce, I mean, maybe you go Monty, and I know you might like that running back depth, but I would go Monty and Bateman for A.J. Brown. Monty and Bateman for Tyreek Hill. Probably hard to get that one done, but just throwing things out. Monty and Bateman for Kyle Pitts. Like, just throwing things out that are going to be kind of hard to do, but those would be difference-making moves for you and to put you above the rest. I just don't trust Monty. I'm not huge on Bateman, and I think getting rid of those guys for one better player safer. Even if those guys work out, you're getting a player that you absolutely love, so you're not going to lose sleep over those guys working out. Pick one, running back 2, Mitchell, ETN, Penny. Give me ETN. And I think I already answered that one. Kyle, flip Miles and Waddle, Miles Sanders and Waddle for Swift and Kirk. Oh, God, that's amazing. That's totally Smitty approved, bro. That is a fantastic.
You've just been Smitty approved.
That's a great trade. Waddle and Miles Sanders is someone I would not want on my roster at all. Waddle and Swift is such a good buy low. Jensen says Moore, Jacobs, Pollard, Hollywood, Brown, Higgins, standard scoring, pick 2. 1 has to be a wide receiver, and Lance or Dak. I'll probably go Dak this week until we see because Kittle out and all that. I like Lance a lot, but I'd say Dak safer. So 2 and 1's got to be a wide receiver. I assume that's DJ Moore. Higgins and DJ Moore or Hollywood. Higgins for sure, and then probably DJ Moore or Hollywood. What do you guys think in the chat? Higgins or DJ Moore or Hollywood? Who would you start, DJ Moore or Hollywood? Flipped Miles Sanders and Waddle. Already got that one. That's fantastic. Cameron, would you trade A.J. Brown for Javonte and Bateman? Yeah, because Javante's a 2.1 smash for me. I'd take him anywhere in round 2, even though his value's like lower than that. He's a home run, best value pick in round 2, and A.J. Brown's a round 3 player. And Bateman's not... you're getting Bateman on top of that. Bateman's you could throw him into another deal and make a trade. Absolutely take Javon. I don't care what your team looks like. I'm doing that trade. I'll move other things around. I'm doing that trade. That's a home run trade. Smitty, my friend, who drafted Akers? Smitty, my friend, who drafted Akers, was shocked about his performance last night, and I couldn't stop laughing, especially after your halftime video on Instagram. Thank you, Kyle. Kyle, I'm sorry it took so long to answer your question.
$10 plus super chat.
Kyle, are you still here? Can you confirm you're still here? Kyle's here. Kyle, I'm sorry it took so long to answer that question. Hope that doesn't deter you away from the future of dropping those super chat wads. My bad, Kyle. Thank you for dropping the super. Who else dropped one? Kyle. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you. Gabriel with the $5 hauler. Gabriel said, Brady, CMC, Barkley, Connor, T, Higgins, Gabe, Davis, Muth. I just got offered Mixon, DJ Moore, and Pierce for CMC, Gabe Davis, and Dylan. What's up, Zach? Appreciate you calling in. Hold on one second while I answer the super chat real quickly. Brady, CMC, Barkley, Connor, T, Higgins, Gabe Davis, Muth. I just got offered Mixon, DJ Moore, and Pierce for CMC, Gabe Davis, and Dylan. Mixon, DJ Moore, and Pierce for CMC, Gabe Davis, and Dylan. I would say no. You can't do that. I like Pierce a lot, but you can't do that. Negative on that one. What's up? What can I help you with?
What's up, Smitty? All right, I have this team that I crafted in an in-person auction draft, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it and what I can do to improve it.
Okay.
All right, so I have it's 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a flex, and then obviously a tight end. So my quarterback is Tom Brady. My RB1 is Aaron Jones. My RB2 is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. My wide receiver
hey,
one
actually,
is Justin Jefferson,
can you start over again for me real quick? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so Brady is my quarterback. Aaron Jones is my RB1. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is my RB2. Justin Jefferson as my wide receiver 1. T. Higgins as my wide receiver 2. Jalen Waddle as my wide receiver 3. Dalton Schultz at tight end. And Tony Pollard at my flex.
Okay. You want to know what to do to improve?
Yeah, how do I improve that team? Because I know my running backs aren't that strong, but I feel like my wide receivers are. So I just wanted to get your take on what you thought I should do with this team and this build.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I would say Waddle and Clyde for one better player. Waddle and Aaron Jones for one monster. Clyde and... I mean, that's the only place you could really go with it. You can't really... You could trade Aaron Jones up using Waddle, but then you're just like, you're kind of thin, you know? So, like, if I'm going to trade Waddle with CEH or... Waddle and CEH should get you something decent. And what you go after, I suppose... Let me see. I guess Aaron Jones. What do you think you could get for Aaron Jones and Waddle? Do you think someone would give you like a first round running back?
I mean, it depends who it is, but probably.
Who's your depth? Like, what do you have on the bench?
That's the problem. I don't have that much depth.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Rashad White. I have MVS, Joshua Palmer, Christian Watson, Alec Pierce, Garrett Wilson, Eno Benjamin.
Yeah, I don't know that you can make much of a change, bro. I think you basically, you know, you'd either have to trade JJ and get like a wide receiver and a running back and a wide receiver that you love, like Debo or somebody high up like that. I don't know that you trading Waddle and Clyde, unless you're going to get like a Diggs or an Adams or even a Lamb's a little bit. I'd probably take Lamb. Like if you get one of those players, maybe even a Debo, and then you throw Pollard into your running back spot. You're really thin at running back, though. Not that Clyde's like a guarantee of any kind, but I don't know. I think you might. I don't think this team's going to win it all unless you land that waiver wire guy of the year, which you could do. It's something you could just make it your mission, you know, because if you added, like, picture adding last year's Eli Mitchell to this team, then all of a sudden you're in the top, 3 or 4, and you could win it all.
Right.
So, I mean, you could just hang tight.
That's what I'm hoping. I mean, I have Rashad White on the bench, so I'm just hoping that Rashad White turns into that.
Yeah, you could hang tight with this team and just try and be that waiver wire monster, bro. Waddle, Higgins, and Schultz and JJ are very, very underrated. Brady and Aaron Jones is pretty solid. If Pollard landed for you, that might be all you need. Pollard alone could make this thing work. But right. I feel like, so I'm looking at your team here. It's like JJ was your first rounder. Aaron Jones was your second rounder. I think where you made your mistake maybe is, and I'm not trying to say I don't like Higgins, but Higgins was your third rounder, and as I've said all offseason long, you guys are taking Higgins and Pittman too early. They have lots of value, but you're taking the second wide receiver on a team as your third drafted player, and it's a very potent offense. I like Higgins a lot, but Higgins and Pittman should have never breached round 3, in my opinion, because I feel like it just leaves you with a team that looks like this, where it's like you're almost there. It's not bad at all. You have a very good team. But it's like you're lacking this one play. It almost feels like you're missing a third round pick. Higgins and Waddle both feel like fourth round, or Waddle feels like a 4-5. Higgins feels like a top of round 4. I'm giving him respect. I'm not saying Higgins is bad, but he feels like a top of round 4 player, not a third drafted player. So
right. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, auction, you never really know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And I ended up just getting Higgins that way. So
yeah,
I mean, it worked out this way. It's just like, you're right. It's like almost there, but it's not quite there.
Yeah. Pollard could be it, though. You know, you want to ride it out for a week or two. I mean, the very least, you know, Waddle could gain more value than he has right now. CEH could gain more value than he has right now. So, like, waiting and rolling it out into week 1 and not having that pressure of, oh, I got to deal this now. I got to get the change now. I got to make this move now. You don't have to. You can let these guys gain value. Maybe Aaron Jones looks like a monster. You could always try and trade Aaron Jones if he has a big game for, let's say, Javonte or Swift struggle. You know, there's always buy low opportunities coming out of week 1. So if Javonte or Swift struggle, maybe you trade Aaron Jones for Javonte in a AJ Brown. You know, like so just look for a deal after. You'll be all right.
Right. All right, for sure. Thanks,
all right,
mate. Appreciate it. I'll
yeah.
also be looking out for that week 1, you know, buy low, sell high video.
Yes, sir.
Related.
All right, later, bro.
Yep.
WRM with the super chat. Appreciate you. Rodney with the super chat. Appreciate you. Joey with the super chat. Thank you, kind sir. And let me get through these super chats. Kyle with the super chat. Oh, I already got that one flipped. That Swift trade. Unbelievable. Joey. Trades Patterson and Boyd for Dameon Pierce. Total win. Like smash, Joey. Like you blasted him. Like veto material. Unbelievable. Hurts, Eckler, Williams, CEH. Hey, Jake from Boston. Hang tight for me while I answer the super chat question real quick. Hurts, Eckler, Williams, CD, Sutton, Gibson, Rams, D. Got Prescott, Gainwell. Claypool on my bench. Should I make a move? Hurts, Eckler, Javonte, CD, Sutton, Gibson. Very, very good team. I mean, I would only trade like Gibson and I don't think you need to make a move. Would I trade Gibson and Sutton for like one bigger monster? I probably would, but Rodney, that's a really good team. Roll it out there. Gibson and Sutton for one player. You know, think like second round type of player. Burrow, Lance, JJ Higgins, running back Javonte, Singletary, Kittle, Cooks, Waddle, Gabe Davis on the bench. Why is Gabe Davis on the bench? Because you have JJ and Higgins and you can only start 2 wide receivers maybe. Man, I would trade Cooks and Singletary for one better player. I'd trade Waddle and Cooks for one better wide receiver. JJ Higgins is fantastic. Javonte, yeah, just trying to upgrade Singletary. Use Waddle, use Cooks. I'd trade all 3 for a monster if you could. WRM. Hey, what's up, pal? What can I help you with? This is Jake, right?
Yeah, this is Jake from
What's
Boston.
up, Jake?
Hey, Smitty. By the way, I was the winner of the Beast hoodie, so I'll send you a pic over whenever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I'm glad you said that because I would have put that together because you know how many people I talk to that are Jakes, how many people I talk to that are, you know, even if your name was, you know, something strange like, I don't know, like a unique name like Dallas. Like I'd talk to so many people, I do not put things together. So yeah, Jake winning the Beast hoodie, and this one, this is what we're giving away here on the show. This Reptilicus t-shirt's going to be given away in the Panic Chamber week 2 episode. So yeah, send a photo if you could. Tag me on Instagram in the stories, and I'll repost it.
Absolutely, I'll definitely do that.
It's a sweet hoodie, bro.
Yeah, it's dope. I'm super excited to sport it. So I need the whiteboard because I'm gonna have to review this afterwards. I have a problem with my RB2 situation. I just wanted kind of your take on it. So I have Swift, obvious RB1. Then I have between Breece Hall, Ramondre Stevenson, Tony Pollard. And I mean, not really considering him because I don't even think he's playing, but Kenneth Walker. So out of like those three, Pollard, Stevenson, and Hall, what's the direction you take that in?
So in week 1, I probably would go Stevenson until we see what Hall's workload's going to be. But it could go either way, man. The wind blows a certain way. I'm going to lean that way. Like I could see, ask it tomorrow night too if you can. But Stevenson for right now, I think they really want to use him as like an Alvin Kamara type player. And while New England's like kind of like a scary offense to like rely upon in fantasy, so is the New York Jets to a lot of people's thinking. So I think ultimately Stevenson feels like the most bang for the buck right now. But Swift is obviously a monster. But Hall will get there.
I was just gonna say, so I have DJ Moore, CeeDee Lamb, and Terry McLaurin as my 3 like starting wide receivers. One of them is a flex. Would you consider moving one of them for a running back?
Which one? Wait, who do you have?
I have DJ Moore, CeeDee Lamb, and Terry McLaurin as my 3 starting lineup wide receivers. One of them's a flex, but
so you can basically
would you move one of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I would consider. I'm not a huge fan of DJ Moore. I don't mind him, but would I trade DJ Moore and Stevenson for one better player? Sure. Who would that be? Debo, Tyreek Hill. I'm thinking second round wide receiver because DJ Moore is flirted with the end of round 3, top of 4, top of 5. He's been all over the place, but I feel like, or if it was Hall and DJ Moore, maybe you could get. I mean, you may even get a Javonte right now off the news for Hall and DJ Moore. I mean, I'd try.
Okay.
I'd try.
All right, that's the direction I'll go then. All right, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, call anytime, Jake.
I'm not concerned for week 1.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Jake, winner of the hoodie. WRM, hopefully that helped you. Sorry I didn't have any other ideas off the top of my head. Should I make a move? I think I got Rodney's team right. Hurts, Eckler, Williams, CD, Sutton, Gibson. Yeah, Gibson and Sutton would be a good player to pack. 2 players to package for 1. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
This is Spiffy Ship.
What's up, Spiffy?
What's up, Smitty? Hey, so
you said this is this is Spiffy, right? Spiffy?
Yeah, Spiffy.
Nice. What's up?
Yeah, so I just wanted to get your opinion on specific, just 2 players between Tua and Justin Fields. Well, how do you feel about those 2?
Tough matchup for Fields. And I think, while I like him, I think he's a developmental guy that's going to, have highs and lows and have to kind of do a lot of things by himself. And when he's successful executing and carrying the team on his back, he's going to look really good. When he doesn't get those rushing touchdowns and he's got to rely on, his team the whole time, the whole way in a tough matchup, he could fall apart. Tua feels probably safest. I think the thing that this guy's got in his favor is Tyreek Hill makes him look like a really good quarterback. And all he does is throw the ball up, and Tyreek Hill just runs under it, and it makes Tua look like he's, this most accurate quarterback in the league. I like Tua a little more than I did. I'm going to admit it. But I probably roll with Tua right now. I know he plays New England, but it's at home. I don't know that New England feels like this, super, super tough matchup. It feels like it's a doable game here for the Dolphins to look pretty impressive in their opening game with this new regime and this wide back heavy offense. I think it's going to be wide back central. I think we're going to see Hill be used in a lot of ways, Waddle used in a lot of ways that we saw Debo used. It's going to be fun to watch. It's definitely a track meet on the field.
So, man.
Give me Tua this week, but I don't love him long term, but
cool. That's great to hear, man. Because I'm also a Dolphins fan, so I'm putting for them as well.
Yeah.
what was the other? Oh, okay, yeah. This is not my team. This is my cousin's team. But I guess he literally just texted me this, so maybe you can help him out. What do you think about this trade? I guess in a vacuum in this case, send out Jamar Chase, and you receive AJ Brown and Josh Jacobs.
No. Easy no. Like, first of all, this guy might be replaced by Zamir White at some point very, very soon. He's in a running back by committee. Jacobs is, I don't want to call him trash, but he's trash. You know, could he do well in week 1, week 2? Sure. But no. I love AJ Brown, but you don't trade this kind of person because this is your advantage. This is why you're doing the trade, because it's a downgrade. As much as I love AJ Brown, this is what you're after. Jacobs is your target. Tell your cousin to shape up and get on the show and start studying a little bit more. You know, here, this is for your cousin.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna show him this clip actually.
Yeah, you show him.
I will. I definitely will. All right, Smitty. Thanks for everything. I don't know if you remember my text from last night, the super chat, but about my team, you said to trade away one of my tight ends. I'm thinking I'm gonna wait until the waiver wire goes through, because my waiver wire, I'm locked in at number 1 because I had the last pick of the draft. So I'm waiting to see how this week shapes up, and then maybe revisiting how my team does.
All right, bro.
After this weekend.
We'll call in and we'll try and work it out for you.
We'll do.
All right, thanks, Biffy. Appreciate you. All right, Caleb, look at the tape. Geno stares at DK. Russ ignored DK. Seahawks suck and will be losing high-volume DK win leagues. Take my word for it. I mean, Caleb's not wrong. I think people are just absolutely off their rocker thinking DK Metcalf is this bad player that's priced into round 5 and 6 value. Caleb is right. DK wins leagues. I've been saying it all offseason long. Some of the best value in fantasy football 2022, DK Metcalf in round 5-6. It's absolutely been a steal all season long. I've been trying to tell people, only people like Caleb know what's going on with it, it seems. It's the easiest smash in round 6-7 other than Burrow, you know, and when you could get Dameon Pierce there. But DK Metcalf is a great buy low. Him and Geno have a good rapport. And DK is one of the best go up and get a 50-50 ball type of player in the NFL. And people are worried about him when he's priced into round 6-7 or round 5-6 value. It's insane. Caleb, I agree. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. 12-team PPR, Kyler, CMC, Swift, Keenan Allen, Elijah Moore, Tony, Mark Andrews, Kirk, Dotson, Breece Hall, Odell Beckham Jr. What are you doing owning Odell right now, Kyle? You could have a Rashad White on your roster. Ben from Texas knows all about that. Ben from Texas, what's up?
Hey, Smitty. How's it going?
I'm good. Hey, hold real quick while I answer this question. So, Kyler, CMC, Swift, Keenan Allen, Elijah Moore, Tony, Kadarius Tony, Mark Andrews, Kirk. Will you try and improve anywhere? So, Kyler, CMC, and Swift is very, very solid. Keenan Allen, Elijah Moore, Mark Andrews, very, very solid. There's not much you can do other than if you were to contemplate what I said, trade CMC for a Javonte and an AJ Brown, something like that. Go see what the Javonte owner has. Najee, if you could downgrade into Najee using CMC to get another wide receiver, but it have to be a big piece. Past that, you're kind of waiting, or you trade Andrews and you try and use like a cheaper tight end avenue and get another big name wide receiver in. Like I would take Debo or Tyreek Hill, or obviously any wide receiver up above for Andrews, because Andrews was not a second round player to me. So give me a second round player, and then I'd find out another way to attack tight end. But that would be me, Kyle. Appreciate your super chat, and hopefully that helps you. And what's up, my man? What can I help you with? Ben, right? Ben from Texas.
Yes. Hey, Smitty, no, I wanted to run something by you. I'm pretty happy with my team, but I feel like I'm missing a top RB, and I was wondering if I need to make any trades.
Okay, hit me with it.
All right. So I got Dak, I got JJ, Lamb as my wide receivers, and St. Brown. Running backs, I got ETN, Pierce, and on the bench I got Brees Hall, Damian Harris, and Pollard, and I got Goddard for my tight end. Like I said, I feel good, but I feel like I'm missing, a stronger RB. So I don't know if to move JJ. I know they offered me Najee, but I don't know. I mean, seeing how Cooper Kupp did, I'm kind of scared to let go of JJ.
Well, I mean, you could do JJ for Najee if he gives you something else, because JJ's a top 5 player. Najee's fell down to the end of round 1, so 1 for 1, no. But if he give you like a wide receiver that's of significant value, but you don't even need it because you can only start 3 wide receivers. Is that correct? Or can you start 4?
No, it's 2 wide receivers and a flex. So I got St. Brown on my flex.
Yeah, so you can't put St. Brown on the bench anyway. So your only thing is like, do you trade? Well, I guess if you traded JJ for Najee, I mean, it sounds like he's probably trying to do it straight up, and you can't do that. What wide receivers does he have?
He has Hill, Deontay Johnson, Cooper, Kirk, Elijah Moore.
So he's got Hill. He's got Hill and Najee. For your JJ and, I mean, would he do Brees Hall?
Yeah, I mean, Brees Hall's on my bench right now, and Damian Harris as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would contemplate this JJ and Hall for Najee and Hill. I would do that. I'd do that if I was in your situation. Now, he may not do that, but I'm just saying that's what I'm thinking. He's probably thinking, oh, I can get his top 5 player by giving him an RB. Here, why didn't I just draft Najee at number 5 overall, Bob? Like, if he's going to be asking you for the straight up swap. Like, no. But like Hill and Hall, I mean, I would do that upgrade there to do this downgrade here. Because JJ to Najee is a downgrade.
Okay, sounds good. I'll go ahead and I'll give it a shot.
All right, bro. Later.
All right. Thanks a lot, Smitty.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Carter, flex 1.5 PPR, Travis Etienne, Pierce, or Sutton. Give me Pierce. I get asked this question probably more than any question on the planet right now. Is Pierce versus Etienne? I don't know why that was. Everybody that owns Pierce owns Etienne because they're watching my show and I've been talking to both, so people own both. But I see that question, and I don't to honestly answer it like Pierce, but I'm on the fence about it. Like, it's really hard. Like, I don't envy your situation, and I have it myself. And I'm wavering too. It's like Etienne and Pierce and Etienne, they're both monsters, bro. I feel a little bit more comfortable with Pierce in week 1 for some reason. I think the volume is going to be guaranteed. Etienne, I want to wait and see what's going on. Like, I just don't want any unknowns, as far as like the offense doesn't look where it needs to look yet because it's transitioning. This is the first game in the new regime, trying to repair itself from the Urban Meyer debacle. So I'm just a little bit more weary if I'm in that situation. You know what I mean? I love Etienne. I'm starting Etienne across the board in like my leagues, but in this scenario, not going to lie, hope Pierce fumbles the bag so I can pick him up in the trade. Well, we don't agree on that because I don't want him fumbling the bag in week 1. And if he does fumble the bag, I mean, that could put him in a risky territory to hold on to the job or something. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I hear you, who dat, what that, but I don't know. I don't want him. Someone tell Smitty that the draft is over. So dumb. What are you talking about, bro? What are you even saying? The draft is over. So dumb. What's so dumb? Jay? David? Whatever your name is. David? David, that's honestly... That's it. Probably too much? Yeah, David, it was too much. Enjoy. Enjoy, David. Someone tells Smitty the draft is over. So dumb. What are you talking about? I mean, you like the channel. Why you come in here and do that? You know, if the channel is important to you and you want to keep it in your life, why would you do that? After all that he came in and said the last time, David the Downer, after all the things he said the last time, negative David, David can enjoy another show. There you go, David. I've freed you from your obligation of watching this channel. Because that wasn't his first time. He's been warned. Okay, that's it for today's show. We've been live for, what's it been, 2 hours? How long has it been? I don't know. It's been 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. I'm live Monday through Friday. Every Monday through Friday. You can catch me right here on the channel. Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Friday. But we'll go live tonight to do some Q&A. Friday, I got the schedule on the YouTube channel in the main banner. So check it out so you guys know what to expect every single day here on the channel. But I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, in addition to all the other things that I'm going to drop. I'm live whenever news breaks. So something breaks, come here. Something breaks, come here. I should have probably went live when the Lamar Jackson news broke that he wasn't going to get his contract. But he's playing it out. We kind of already knew that. I already kind of did the show yesterday on that, so I decided not to go live on it. But, you know, I usually go live whenever something like that's big. I left a super chat, says Adolfo. I'm sorry, let me look for it, pal. I'm sorry. Adolfo, super chat. Smitty, approved. 10 team. Number 6, PPR Hurts, Javonte, Etienne Hall, AJ Dillon, Walker, Algier, Rashad White, B-Rob, Justin Jefferson, Gabe Davis, Eli Moore, Andrews. That's really, really good squad. Hurts, Javonte, Etienne, Dillon. Very good. Hall. Love it. JJ, Gabe Davis, Mooney, Andrews. Would I trade Mooney and Etienne for one better player? I might. Swift comes to mind. Would I trade Gabe Davis and AJ Dillon for a Swift? I would. Would I trade, and I'm just saying Gabe Davis because he's got ultra high value, and it doesn't mean I don't like him, doesn't mean I'm predicting bust, but if you can use an AJ Dillon and Gabe Davis to sneak your way into a Javonte type player, you already have Javonte, or I would have said Javonte. Swift is another one people are doubting to the tune of dropping him into the second round, and I think that Gabe Davis, who has like 4th or 5th round value probably right this second if you were to draft right this second. AJ Dillon's got about 4th round value. That's essentially 2 4th rounders for a second. It's doable to expect a Swift in return. Past that, maybe AJ Dillon and Gabriel Davis for, and again, I just use Gabe because he's very high value. Maybe you could get yourself like an Adams type wide receiver, but maybe you love Gabe Davis enough to not make that move. I don't know. It's a good team, bro. You don't really have to make any moves. I think all the players you have are going to gain value as the season moves along, so might be a safer thing to let AJ Dillon gain some value. Might be safer to let Etienne gain some value. Breece Hall to eventually gain his value. Walker, you've got Gabe Davis, who could continue to cement himself into people's minds as a consistent guy. I mean, Mooney's going to have good value. Andrews, I would toy around with the idea of trading Andrews away and getting a second round player, because I think Andrews is a tough player to draft, but you did well with it. But I would definitely look to move him if you could get a second round talent to plug right into that wide receiver 3 role, which would make Gabe Davis your wide receiver 2. Only if you can fill that void with another tight end that I like, though. You could buy low on Dawson Knox, people freaking out about him, or just roll this team into week 1 and Adolfo come after some kind of, deal once these guys gain value. I don't think you need to make a move. You're probably one of those people I would say hang tight, let it play out, because a lot of your players are going to go up in value. And I think selling now is selling before they all peak a little bit. Hit that thumb up button on your way out the door. Again, live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you know I'm live whenever news breaks. If news breaks at all, some big news, a trade, a big injury, come to my channel immediately because I'll be going live. Underdog Fantasy, use promo code Smitty. Match up to $100 of your first deposit. So definitely get on over there. Your season begins now on Underdog because you can play weekly DFS contests for the coming week. Week 1 only contest. Draft a lineup for week 1. Win prizes and play DFS. Your season doesn't have to end. Your drafting season doesn't have to end because the fantasy season is, the draft season is over. You can draft every week on Underdog using promo code Smitty. So go do that now. And the last super chat of the day was from T-Man. And T-Man says Hawkinson or Albert O for tight end 1 Sunday. I lean Hawkinson until Albert O forces us to make a move. You know what I'm saying? Forces us to make a move. He forces you to make a move, then you'll start him the next week. But Hawkinson can't be benched at this point. Carr or Wilson, toss up, bro. Probably lean Wilson, but I can't blame anybody for starting Carr. I'll see you all later tonight when we do a Q&A. Thank you all. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Like Ramirez is saying here, on to 14K. Let's do it. We're at 13.4K. Let's get to 14, then to 15, then on to 20. See you all tonight.
Show extended additional 2 minutes.
Terry says not so fast. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you. Streaming tight end. Everett. Gerald Everett this week. Parham's out. Go Gerald Everett. He's pretty decent. Make sure you pick up Likely. Maybe watch Likely for a week. I like Likely a lot. Hollywood end of the 7th round is a very good value. Very, very good value. Josh Allen is my QB as well. Well, you had yourself a day, didn't you? You had yourself a day. Wait, you're doing a Q&A where tonight on the live show here. We'll go live again. Tonight. Every Friday night, broski. Every Friday night.
Show ends in 1 minute.
Didn't get Cup because we're a 2 QB league, and my first pick went to Allen. Well, Allen was a fantastic. Allen and Herbert were the number 1 and number 2 overall picks in Superflex leagues. No question about it. No question about it. Boyd, Claypool, keep one. I guess Claypool, but I don't love either. I'd rather go hit the waiver wire for somebody else. Higgins, Debo, St. Brown, Elijah Moore, played Gabe Davis, flex 2, who should you choose? St. Brown, Debo, Higgins. Oh my God. You got to make a trade. You're gonna get this wrong every week. Higgins and Debo are higher draft capital players. Like, you got to start Higgins, Debo. But putting St. Brown on the bench is so painful. I'm not going to tell you to do it, but you can't really bench those other 2 guys. JLN. Appreciate you subscribing. Guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'll see you all tonight. Thank you, Terry, for the super chat. I'll see you all tonight. Peace out. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get lamb.